Chapter 361. Behind the Scenes. Are you sure there really is such a guy? Leader Takigak continued to ask with incredulousness in his eyes. Seeing that the people around didn't quite believe it, Feng nodded. I'm sure, it's. These guys want to take me away. Soon. No wait, if someone goes to talk more, Feng will begin to describe all of his previous things to them. A long time, when Feng said this. After finishing speaking, everyone's face showed a very surprised look. Being pierced in the heart, you can continue to fight and stay undead. Summons black monsters, can use Kaden fire style, Raiden thunder style, and Sweeten water style. And their black robes, each everything that is planted is amazing. But now no one doubts everything Feng said, and now it can be seen through the corpses of the ninjas in Takigakura who were killed before. There are 3220. Before some people died, there was even a state of shock on their faces, obviously with disbelief. In this connection, what Feng said just now, they already have a basic understanding. What Gong Yi planned, Takian village has already started to point all the blame at Akatsuki. Although Akatsuki was not known to Takian village, but now Konoha village is clearly aware of it. They had also attacked Konoha village at that time, and it was impossible to gather information about some of them, but Akatsuki's basic dress code of Konoha village was clear. It is because of these that Gong Yi thought of implementing this plan. Takian village is just a digger, and Gong Yi, the real behind-the-scenes manipulator, naturally has to rely on Konoha village. He believed that when Sarutobi Hiruzen knew the news, he would definitely encourage his Omura to start besieging them. Leader, what should we do next? The two monsters Feng said must have left. Returning to the Takian village conference room at the ninja hospital, a high-level senior looked at the old man in the first place and asked. Yeah, if Feng's story is true, those two guys should never have been killed. I think it's time to seek help from the rest of Omura. We can't suppress this matter. The rest of the senior management of Takigak looked at the old man, and they all responded with their own opinions. This matter cannot be solved by our Takian village alone. The leader of Takigakushi, who had been silent for a long time, spoke up. He obviously thought about it a lot and continued to speak. Mizuki, you are sending ninjas to Konoha village now. Chief, do you want to tell Konoha village about this? The middle-aged man called Mizuki asked the leader Takigakushi with a puzzled face. That's right, things like this can only be left to Konoha village. The leader of Takigak nodded, with a gloomy face on his face. These two guys should be organized. If we want to keep the village from being in danger, we must let the other Omura and us take the common risk. The leader of Takigakuji understood that if Mi was only Akatsuki, one of their ninja villagers, then he would probably be missed by such a mysterious organization. And the Jinchuiki column power of the Nantai people is more likely, and there will still be accidents. But if these things of them are developed to a state known to the ninja world, they will definitely be afraid. After all, collecting tailed beasts is something that the ninja village resists. Coupled with the various disturbances of the tailed beast recently, I couldn't bear to sit still. Leader Takigak can sit in this position and naturally think long-term. As for telling Konoha village, it's just because the two villages are still moving around with each other, and they are still in harmony. Understood the leader, I will organize the staff now and set off for Konoha village. Nodding, Shuimu heard this, and a look of sudden realization appeared on his face. Of Takian village did not deny this opinion. Because they know, according to the current situation, it is indeed the best way. The leader of the palace in Takian village had made a decision. He had already come to his secret room. Now, in front of Gong Yi, there is already a small row of things. If you are seen by a discerning person, you will be shocked. Because it has the tail of 6 tails, the horns of 8 tails, the wings of 7 tails, the fingers of 4 tails. This terrifying tailed beast that shocked the ninja continent, immortal and immortal, is now about to gather them all on Gong Yi's table. Looking in front of him, Gongyi sealed them all again, and now, as time goes by, he will be able to succeed. As for his plan to throw the blame on Akatsuki, Gongyi is not too concerned about whether it is successful or not. Anyway, now I act secretly, and no one has suspected these things on myself. There is only one tail left, 2 tails and 5 tails. Putting them back together, Gongyi muttered to himself. Calculate the time, there is still some time before the plot starts. One tail may not be able to get it quickly, and now I can only start on the second 2 tails and 5 tails. But now is not the time, we can only wait for the information from the avatar of the consciousness and Uchiha Itachi. In this way, the plan of the small 10 tails Jinchuriki column force can come to an end for the time being. Anyway, now I'm not too worried. Walking out of the secret room, Gongyi simply cleaned up and returned to Konoha Murakami. I've been closing the door for a while. I really need to go back to the ninja hospital to have a look. Although Ariyi took care of it, I was very relieved, but if it continued like this, my prestige would be reduced a lot. If they didn't show up all the time, the commoners and ninjas of Konoha village, their impression of themselves in their minds would have diminished a lot over time. Such a phenomenon, Gongyi feels that it is not surprising, that is. For example, Namikaze Minato is also a hero of Konoha, but unfortunately no one has mentioned it. And as later Sarutobi Hiruzen, in fact, also rescued Konoha village in disguise, 1. After that, no one mentioned it at all. Time will make people forget all the achievements you have made, and Gongyi is no exception. If you are invisible for a long time, the state of his life is a very serious blow to the prestige he has established. After all, the power of Konoha village is not fully controlled by himself. Konoha village, ninja hospital. Inside the dean's office. Gongyi has sat down now. Is Konoha 59 years old? Looking at the calendar in front of him, Gongyi said lightly to himself, if I remember correctly, Naruto and Sasuke are probably 11 years old. Knocking on the table, Gongyi knew that there was not much time left for himself. After the plot starts, more and more powerful guys will naturally appear. Chapter 362. The Mysterious Uchiha Tribe. Konoha Village, inside the Hokage office. The ninja sent by Takian village had been gone for a long time, and only Sarutobi Hiruzen was left in the house. He stood in front of the wide window with his hands on his back, quietly looking out the window at the main road of Konoha village. He turned around and lit his cigarette bag, and took 2 sips in his mouth. From Taki Hidden Village just now came to tell Sarutobi Hiruzen about the attack on the tail beast. Although Takian village is isolated from the world, it has been in a very neglected state for a long time. However, because they have Nanao, Konoha village also has some contact with them from time to time. They came here today, also under the order of the leader of Takian village, and told Sarutobi Hiruzen all the information about the Nantai people Jinchuriki column Lifeng. Without any reservations, they said almost everything they could know about Akatsuki before. Especially about Akatsuki, Hidan and Kaku. Both, all the information about the 2 of them was told to Sarutobi Hiruzen in more detail. Crunch. At this time, the door was pushed open. Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Udatane walked in. 29 inches 3 generations, what's wrong with calling us here? Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen standing there, Kaharu Udatane asked him. Takian village has just sent ninjas. Senses, Sarutobi Hiruzen knocked the pouch in his hand and sat on the big chair. Takian village has sent ninjas. Hearing this, Homura Mitokado looked puzzled. What are they going to do? It's about the latest tailed beast. Sarutobi Hiruzen answered him. The tail beast thing. Kaharu Udatane and Homura Mitokado are almost in unison. Apparently they both know Akatsuki about the recent turmoil in the ninja world. That's right, someone tried to take the Jinchuiki column power of the Nanao from Takian village, and they fought. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the 2 of them and continued slowly. but the Nantai Jinchuriki column force pushed them back and got their information. Long time. Sarutobi Hiruzen has told them everything. When Kaharu Yuditane and Homura Mitokado heard this, their expressions gradually changed. It's not good. The black robe, Yuhi-colored auspicious clouds, could it be? That's right, it's Akatsuki who attacked Konoha village earlier. Seeing that the two seemed to have guessed something, Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded to confirm their thoughts. It's that guy named Pain, Akatsuki the leader. Kaharu Yuditane's face was gloomy, and his heart slowly began to feel bad. That's right. Akatsuki who attacked Konoha village before, and they do have guys with weird abilities, and they are all very strong. Sarutobi Hiruzen said these things, and the whole Kiba couldn't help but recall what happened before. After all, the Sarutobi family was in that battle. Countless casualties. As for these, Akatsuki's information is naturally what Gong Yi briefly explained to him before, and he has not fully obtained the specific details. Akatsuki's group of missing nin's organization is indeed a bit difficult to deal with, but I really didn't expect that they were actually playing the tailed beast's idea. The current Homura Mitokado spoke slowly, with fear on his face. Well, not only that, I got information from Gong Yi before. There may be a man with Sharingan in Akatsuki. He is good at space ninjutsu, and he is an elusive guy. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded and continued. This guy may have something to do with the original Kyuubi, Nine Tails rebellion. I suspected it for a long time. The chaos of Kyuubi, Nine Tails. The two frowned. It was the most passive time in Konoha village. Even the 4 generations of Hokage's lives were taken in. In that war, the culprit was actually a mysterious Uchiha clan, and what he was best at was space ninjutsu. Sarutobi Hiruzen was very uncomfortable and took a sip of the cigarette holder. He directly kidnapped the Kyuubi, Nine Tails Jinchuriki column force Uzumaki Kushina under the eyes of the water waves, which led to the original Kyuubi, Nine Tails. Night. The shocking disaster at the beginning was vividly remembered by everyone. Now that Gong Yi's original Akatsuki information is linked to the information just now from Taki Hidden Village, the three of them can already figure it out. It seems that the calamity of all this is exactly Akatsuki appears behind the scenes. The 6-tailed runaway in Kurigakure village is almost exactly the same as the runaway of Kyuubi, Nine Tails, in Konoha village. Of the 4-tailed Jinchuriki column, Lee Laozi is related to Akatsuki's strength, and it can indeed match. And this time, Jinchuiki column, a Nantai from Takian village, was lucky enough to escape, and it was only by releasing the tailed beast that he escaped. So now it can be concluded that Akatsuki wants to collect the tailed beast, but they can't suppress the complete tailed beast. Sarutobi Hiruzen has already thought that his information should be accurate at this time. And it is certain that Akatsuki will come again to target their Konoha village now. After all, the current Kyuubi, Nine Tails, but still, their Konoha village. What are you going to do now? Looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was thinking, Kaharu Yuditane asked. Spread this matter out so that the rest of the ninja village must know. Sarutobi Hiruzen seems to have thought about it for a long time. Now we can't hide the news of Akatsuki. It is better to make them the target of public criticism, and this disguised one can protect the people in our village, Jinchuriki column force. After all, they will be busy. Wanted in every village. No intention to collect Jinchuriki column force. This is indeed a very good 320 method. With the current situation alone, we will definitely suffer losses. Both Kaharu Yuditane and Homura Mitokado felt that Sarutobi Hiruzen's plan was good and did not deny it. Now Akatsuki's previous methods, the two have already seen it. If you don't want to go to such a situation again, you still need to unite a ninja village. Gong Yi hadn't suppressed them here, Konoha village would have fallen into a very passive situation again. No one dared to underestimate Akatsuki. After all, their level of danger is very high now. Then who do you want to send out now? After all, those guys wouldn't believe it if they were simply told by ordinary ninjas. The two of Kaharu Udatane came back to their senses and continued to ask. Who to send? Sarutobi Hiruzen hesitated. Really embarrassing now that this is the case. Although they have accurate information on their side, if they send ordinary ninjas to talk about it, then surely no one is willing to believe it, but they will feel that all of this may be their tricks. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not believe the news from Takian village, but now that he has combined so many things, he has to believe it. But the rest of the ninja village will not think like them. Chapter 363. Slap yourself in the face. But now Sarutobi Hiruzen's plan is to let them know first. As for whether he believes it or not, he naturally doesn't care. Anyway, Akatsuki will be exposed to everyone's eyes. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen said slowly, let Anbu be in charge of this time. Here. Hearing Sarutobi Hiruzen say this, Kaharu Udatane interrupted, why not let Gongyi go to replace Konoha village and tell the rest about Akatsuki? No. Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head and denied Kaharu Udatane's words. Gongyi's strength is too strong, and now if we let Gongyi go and tell them about these things, then someone will suddenly think that we, Konoha, are making these things, thus transferring the calamity to this mysterious organization. Saying that, Sarutobi Hiruzen paused and then continued. Also, even if I want Gongyi to go, do you think he will do this kind of delivery? Quote. Some silence. Sarutobi Hiruzen finished speaking. Kaharu Udatane and Homura Mitokado did not speak any further. True, now that Gongyi's strength has grown to such a level, it's a joke to assign him such a task. And, if Gongyi is really allowed to come forward, it will indeed make the rest of the ninja village suspicious. After all, the rest of the village has always been hostile to Konoha. Even though some villages have contracts with, they are secretly guarding Konoha. Just thinking about it, such a thing, it is indeed the best way to hand it over to Anbu. Have you heard that someone came from Takian village today? Come to us Konoha for what? I don't know too well, but I recognize them, they are definitely people from Takian village. In the ninja hospital in Konoha village, in the spacious hallway, there are several genin passing by whispering from time to time. Gongyi is walking here now, he has already heard the wind. The ninjas of Takian village, they have come to Konoha and have met Sarutobi Hiruzen. It seems that everything is going well. Faint smile, Gongyi didn't pay attention to these things. However, he himself knew it well, and he already knew it very well in his heart. Of Takigakura village's back is to tell Sarutobi Hiruzen about Akatsuki. And with Sarutobi Hiruzen's mentality, he will definitely tell the rest of the ninja village about the whole thing. Such a secret, he won't hide it at all, but will definitely make it public. At that time, Akatsuki's early exposure, although there may be some deviations in the plot, but it is a big good thing for himself. Not only can I collect the tailed beasts with peace of mind, but I can also use them to defend Akatsuki before doing other things. In short, at this juncture, it would be best to take out one's own Uzumaki. Ninja world and the village, if they hadn't doubted themselves, it would have been impossible. Sarutobi Hiruzen, he doubts himself very much, then the rest of the village is even more so. After all, they have the strength to be an absolute beast, and they all know it well. But now with Akatsuki's confusion, it's more convenient for the next plan. Gongyi, you have come to the hospital. At this time, a soft voice came from behind. Gongyi turned around. Iuyi was standing there. Well, let's take a look. Stepping towards Hilly, Gongyi slowly pulled Hilly's hair behind her ear. After all, here in the hospital, you can't keep busy all the time, and I have to share some of it. Cut, you can cultivate with peace of mind, this is nothing. Hearing Gongyi finish saying these, Ariyi shook her head, with a happy smile on her face. Now the relationship between the two is naturally needless to say, although Gong Yi has been very busy recently. However, Yi did not complain at all, but managed the entire ninja hospital in an orderly manner. Swish! Before Gong Yi could speak again, a black figure with an animal mask appeared. It is Anbu of Konoha village. When this Anbu appeared, his posture became very low. Instead of looking up at Gong Yi, he bowed his head respectfully and said, "Master Gong Yi, the third generation of Hokage, please come over. Please come over." Seeing the sudden appearance of Anbu, Gong Yi asked, "What are you looking for?" "Lord Gong Yi, I didn't know about this." The Anbu ninja obviously didn't know about it, but he was just a messenger. "Okay, I get it." Seeing these, Gong Yi did not embarrass the Anbu ninja. Although Gong Yi went to ask about it, he actually knew it. Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to find him, but it was probably just because of the information about Takian village. It is estimated that 8 or 9 are not far from 1089, and he should have something that he wants to ask himself. Hee, it's good, Kimimaro, Anbu has fallen. Gong Yi faintly smiled and secretly said, he already has a lot of things going through his mind. This time, I won't let Sarutobi Hiruzen bleed heavily. At the same time, the Anbu ninja here stopped talking nonsense, and nodded to Gong Yi immediately. Left. Gong Yi shrugged his shoulders, looked helplessly at Eri and said, "Sorry, I need to leave." Yes. Was not unhappy, but Kiba smiled and replied, "Go and see Lord Hokage, I am in the hospital." Good. Gong Yi isn't fanning emotions here either, immediately. Also flashed away. Soon, I came to Hokage's office. Gong Yi, you are here. Seeing Gong Yi pushing the door and walking in, Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a calm expression. But he was wrong. He had suspected Gong Yi before, but now he has pointed the finger at Akatsuki. So obviously the previous series of things really hit him in the face. It not only seriously affected the relationship between the two, but also made him have some doubts about his own judgment. Maybe I'm really getting old. Call me here, what's the matter? Calm face, Gong Yi did not show the slightest expression of joy, anger, sorrow or joy. Cough. When Sarutobi Hiruzen heard Gong Yi's question, he coughed and said slowly, Jinchuriki column force of Nanao from Taki Hidden Village was attacked. After a long time, this has been repeated for the second time, and Sarutobi Hiruzen quickly finished. Of course, he didn't want to talk to Gong Yi at all. This is just a premise, what he really wants to ask is in the back. Chapter 364. The Struggle for Rights. Akatsuki wants to collect tailed beasts. Hearing Sarutobi Hiruzen finish saying this, Gong Yi pretended to be a little surprised and smiled lightly. This is really an interesting thing. Now Akatsuki wants to collect tailed beasts. This is related to the safety of the entire ninja world. This is not just a matter of our Konoha village. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Gong Yi with a serious expression. And then, Hokage-sama, you said this, what do you want to express? Gong Yi shrugged and looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen, answering him in a somewhat sarcastic tone. I don't know Gong Yi, do you have any specific news about Akatsuki? Seeing that Gong Yi was not interested in this matter, Sarutobi Hiruzen simply stopped talking, but asked. Specific information about Akatsuki. That's right. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded and replied. Lord Hokage, Kimimaro is about to be assigned a ninja teacher and assigned to the squad. Gong Yi didn't directly continue to talk about this. Instead, he asked Sarutobi Hiruzen with a smile. What do you mean? Hearing Gong Yi's opening, Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned slowly. 32 didn't know what he wanted to do. Still there, talking about Akatsuki, but he suddenly changed the topic to something else. What do you think of Kimimaro's current strength? He is very good in all aspects. I will arrange a good ninja teacher for him to lead the team. Sarutobi Hiruzen, as Hokage, has been in control of Konoha village for so long, and now he has gradually guessed what Gong Yi means. Now that he's asking about Akatsuki, Gongyi naturally doesn't seem to want to talk about this. Tell himself. And why he suddenly said about Kimimaro is undoubtedly wanting to use this incident to blackmail himself. Sarutobi Hiruzen felt a little unhappy in his heart, but his expression didn't show it. Instead, he looked at Gongyi and said, "Don't worry about Kimimaro, I will make arrangements." No, that's not enough. When Gongyi heard Sarutobi Hiruzen say this, he shook his head with a half-smile expression. "Since you think he is good in all aspects, then let him join your Anbu." What? Sarutobi Hiruzen's complexion changed, and the whole person showed a surprised look. Join Anbu. Even if he is calm now, he can't hold it anymore after hearing Gongyi finish. Now Sarutobi Hiruzen has no idea that Gongyi is actually thinking of Anbu again. Anbu, this is his own personal unit, and the tasks usually performed are also very secret things in Konoha village. Basically, being able to enter Anbu now is equivalent to entering the secret core level of Konoha. Kimimaro is Gongyi's apprentice, and also Gongyi's person, Sarutobi Hiruzen. That, the last surviving child of the Kagaya clan he brought back, he is loyal to Gongyi. If he were to join Anbu now, then Sarutobi Hiruzen knew that it was impossible for him to turn against him. Contrary, if Kimimaro is allowed to join Anbu now, some secret affairs in the village will be controlled by Gongyi in disguise. Joining Anbu, that is for those who struggle for power, but the benefits are endless. This is also the reason why Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi joined Anbu and Uchiha clan so excited. Because if someone of their own joins Anbu, they will get more information than usual, and they will have a deeper understanding of the entire Konoha village. This is the case, so Sarutobi Hiruzen revealed some reasons for his gaffe. Gongyi, he has stretched his hand too long. Now the ninja hospital, then to Hyuga Neji of the Hyuga clan, and then the only son of the 4 generations of Hokage, that is, the Kyubi 9 Tails Jinchuriki column force. These rights are related to people and families, and they already have a deep relationship with him. Also, Sarutobi Hiruzen heard that even the last orphan of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Sasuke, wanted to worship him as a teacher. A lot of things that are very important in this whole Konoha have been gradually controlled by Gongyi. Now he actually wants to let his own people join Anbu. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face is a little bad, and now he feels that Gongyi wants to start the struggle for power. Hehe, how about 3 generations of Hokage, Sama? Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen's appearance, Gongyi did not show any unpleasant appearance, but still smiled. What do you think of my suggestion? Having Kimimaro in Anbu is no trivial matter, and I need to think about it carefully. Sarutobi Hiruzen quickly adjusted his expression and did not refuse. Now he is still scheming, his relationship with Gongyi is very delicate, and he doesn't want to completely block the relationship between the two because of Kimimaro's affairs. Now that it's like this, it's impossible for him to let Kimimaro join Anbu. However, Sarutobi Hiruzen did not open his mouth and refused directly. Okay, 3 generations of adults, you should think about it. Gongyi stood up and didn't seem to stay for long. Then I'll go back and wait for your news. That, Gongyi left the Hokage office. Now his face did not show any disappointment. On the contrary, Gongyi showed a smile as if he had known Akatsuki for a long time. That's right. Sarutobi Hiruzen refused, which was what Gongyi had long thought of. Departments like Anbu are actually very special, and their contacts are also very obscure. If Kimimaro is an ordinary civilian ninja, or some big family ninja, then Sarutobi Hiruzen may still be possible, let him join here. However, now that his relationship with Sarutobi Hiruzen, if Kimimaro enters Anbu, he will feel very uncomfortable. It was like Gongyi's eyes were suddenly arranged by his side. There is absolutely no way to counteract. If he deliberately arranged some mortal tasks, he believed that Gongyi would never make Konoha village easier. However, if some important things are told to him, Gung-yi will naturally know Akatsuki. So, in such a situation where it is difficult to ride a tiger, as long as Sarutobi Hiruzen is not a fool, he will naturally refuse first. On the contrary, if Sarutobi Hiruzen agreed, Gung-yi would be surprised. But these are all indifferent, the reason why he made this request today while he was asking for himself. So let Sarutobi Hiruzen have a mental preparation in advance, because of Gung-yi, he naturally has a way to make Sarutobi Hiruzen agree to Kimimaro to join Anbu later. After all, he needs too many places for himself, and it is impossible to refuse Kimimaro's participation. Chapter 365. Top Wanted Ninja. Week later, the ninja world continent at this moment has already caused countless uproars. Which was like a calm water, like a boulder, creating endless ripples and ripples. This news is exactly what happened between Jinchuriki, Column Force and Akatsuki from Nanao from Takian village. At the beginning, according to Sarutobi Hiruzen's intention, now he has fully informed all the rest of the ninja village of the news of Takian village without any reservation. Whether it is Kumogakure village, Sunagakure village, Iwagakure village, and Kurigakure village, which is a little far from the mainland, all have received the news. When they first got the news, they were still skeptical. Or more, they thought it might be the Konoha village doing something like this. With the ninjas sent to investigate these days, a few of the ninja Omura also found out that what Konoha village told them. All are true, although it is still there, to be confirmed, but almost all of them are true. It can be concluded that according to the situation so far, this Akatsuki should really be causing trouble. Maybe they're really thinking about the tailed beast. Mizukage-sama, basically. This is the news. Stood in Mizukage's office, reporting all the information he had to Terumi-mei in front of him. It seems that the last six-tailed riot was really created by these Akatsuki guys. Both hands Jinchuriki column on the large table, Terumi-mei has a charming aura all over her body, but now she is frowning. Terumi-mei immediately after the people from Konoha Anbu passed the news to her not long ago. Sent out to investigate. Although the two villages have formed an alliance, it is impossible to blindly believe it. But in the end, basically, everything they've come to shows that these things are now likely to be caused by Akatsuki. All the evidence has actually shown that Akatsuki did it on purpose. Terumi-mei was a little annoyed. She still vividly remembers what happened during the Six Tails Rebellion. Without Gung-yi's help, the entire Kurigakure village might have really been doomed. When the reconstruction of Kurigakure village was completed, the village was in a state of rest, and there was no ability to withstand another destruction. Akatsuki's last action was probably aimed at subverting the entire village of Kurigakure. Thinking of this, Terumi-mei looked at Chojuro, bit Kiba and said, "You are now fully protecting the safety of the six-tailed Jinchuriki column force, and then send elite Jonin to investigate this Akatsuki, and if we find them, we will unite with the rest of the shinobi village to destroy them in one fell swoop." Got it, Mizukage-sama. Chojuro nodded, and immediately turn around and go out to make arrangements. The entire village of Kurigakure was in action at this time. Now that Akatsuki's wind is blowing, Terumi-mei naturally doesn't want them. Originally, I couldn't swallow it at first, but now I found out that they caused it. Terumi-mei is naturally more active than anyone else. Of course. Now it's not just the Kurigakure village that is conducting such a comprehensive search, the other ninja villages are also doing the same. Although it did not reach the situation of public enemy of the whole people, Akatsuki also began to be unable to keep a low profile. Because every ninja village has fully dispatched elite ninjas, and began to collect their information continuously. With Gung-yi pushing behind the scenes, Akatsuki was fully exposed at this moment. Especially Pain, whose name is already familiar to everyone. Now, as the leader of Akatsuki, he has long been listed as the top most wanted ninja by everyone. Meanwhile, in the ninja continent, a desolate area. Here is a dark cave. I saw that inside the cave, at this time, there were several shadowy figures standing. They are all illusory, and it is obvious that there is no real body standing here, but an image projected by some kind of ninja tool. According to Ju's information, Akatsuki appears to have been completely exposed. Seeing that the figures were all gathered, a man standing in front said coldly, "Now the whole ninja world has begun to investigate us." His eyes showed a circle of ripples, which made people feel terrified when they looked at them. Seems that there is an incomparably huge power hidden in this pair of pupils. That's right, he is the leader of Akatsuki, Pain Heavenly Path, who is sought by the entire ninja continent. Now in front of him are Uchiha Itachi, Sasori of the Red Sand, etc. Members of Akatsuki. Damn, that Nantai Jinchuriki column force. She looks like she has already told our news. Standing here, the black shadow belonging to Hidan shrugged his shoulders and spread his hands, looking at the corner beside him. "This bastard, I said back then that I should have killed her." "You mean, you're blaming me?" Zhao Du's voice was a little indifferent. He also looked at Hidan, obviously a little displeased. "Then what are you going to do now?" Sasori of the Red Sand looked at Pain Heavenly Path and interrupted the two who were arguing. He asked, "In this case, it will affect a lot of things in the future." When the rest of the people heard this, they all looked at him. Although they were silent, they were obviously ready to listen to his opinions. "Don't worry about this, continue to execute the plan." ... Moment of silence, the Pain Heavenly Path pair of Rinnegan looked at the crowd, but the progress needs to be accelerated. As for the Jinchuriki column force, stop for now, the whole ninja village will not let them out easily. Now if you insist on arresting them, arrest will only be detrimental to our next actions. Bastard, who is trying to frame us? Hidan bit Kiba and said a little unhappily, "Now everyone thinks that Iwagaker's four-tailed Jinchuriki column force was killed by us, and there is news that the four-tailed are in our Akatsuki. You don't need to take care of this matter. I will personally investigate and complete your respective tasks." Pain Heavenly Path said coldly, without talking nonsense. The whole person disappeared when the words fell. As for the rest, they looked at the cape. All disappeared as well as Hidan, without much to say. A short while, the two of them were left in the entire cave. Damn. Hidan bit Kiba and spit out. The whole person was a little angry. Although Pain and the others didn't say anything just now, and no one blamed them. But now this matter is caused by the two of them failing. It was because of the two of them that Akatsuki was actually used as a shield to take the blame for others. However, the two of them were not more depressed because of Akatsuki's loss. But this incident brought them a very big shame. It even made the two of them feel that this time, everyone was sneering at them. Chapter 366. Plot Prelude, 2nd. Soon, just when the people on Akatsuki's side had reorganized their plans, Gong Yi didn't care about them here. Right now, he is standing quietly in his secret room, studying ninjutsu. Long time ago, Sarutobi Asuma gave himself a futon, wind-style, ninjutsu scroll collected by the Sarutobi family when he was dispatched to the village of Kurigakure. Not only records a lot of futon, wind-style, ninjutsu in detail, but also records several very precious futon, wind-style, secret techniques. Gong Yi wants to study, not these. The secret techniques created by the Sarutobi family, but he wants to combine these ninjutsus on the scrolls to evolve a futon, wind-style, ninjutsu of his own. As his full attribute chakra grandmaster, a necessary single-type ninjutsu, Gong Yi naturally wants to create a suitable one for him. If the research can be successful, there will naturally be an invisible hole card. It has been famous in the entire ninja continent for a long time. 3220. Gong Yi doesn't believe that no one studies himself. Some of the ninjutsu that I often use, it is estimated that many people already know it. Especially those ninja Omura, they probably have secretly researched a lot of things for themselves. Thinking of this, Gong Yi shook his head. A faint smile appeared on his face. He was not afraid. If this is the case, then it can only show that they really just think too much. A short time, Gong Yi simply recorded the changes of several futon, wind-style ninjutsu and walked out of the secret room. It's not easy to develop a ninjutsu that suits you. Now Gong Yi is not in a hurry and wants to eat a fat man in one bite. Gong Yi still has a lot of experience in developing the application of these ninjutsu. Come outside. Gong Yi looked at the place where Kimimaro usually trains was empty, and he muttered to himself, Kimimaro has been assigned to the ninja team, so Naruto and the others should graduate soon. Time is fast. Gong Yi knew that the real story of Hokage was about to begin. And then, it's time for real guys with various levels to appear. When Naruto Ninja School graduates, then it should be the task of transitioning to the Land of Waves. After that, Orochimaru's Konoha Crash Plan. It's about to start too. For the big snake, Gong Yi didn't want to stop it now. Now the whole peaceful Konoha really needs some turbulence. After all, Sarutobi Hiruzen doesn't trust him, and Gong Yi has no plans to save his life. His feud with Orochimaru, Gong Yi also doesn't want to intervene. This Orochimaru, he just needs not to destroy Konoha too much. As for other things, Gong Yi didn't think too much. It seems that after the beginning of the plot, this short period of stability has officially ended. With his hands on his back, Gong Yi stood here quietly looking forward. Master, what are you thinking? At this time, Gong Ling slowly walked to Gong Yi's side and looked at him quietly. Thinking about some research on ninjutsu. Hearing Gong Ling's voice, Gong Yi smiled and turned his head to look back at her. Don't want anyone to know anything about Konoha. Some secrets exist only in themselves. Gong Yi didn't want to enjoy the whole story after that. This is like a prophet's ability, but his own advantage is his most powerful confidence. The reason why Gong Yi is not afraid of anything and everything is that besides his own strength is already very strong, he also has all the control over the future. It's as if he has a big hand, completely grasping everyone in the palm of his hand, and no one can escape. Konoha Village. After a few brief words with Gong Ling, Gong Yi has come to Konoha. Soon as he walked to the main road, 4 people came towards him in front of him. It is Sarutobi Asuma, Kimimaro, and 2 young genin who have never met. Mr. Gong Yi. Master Gong Yi. After seeing Gong Yi, the 2 greeted each other separately. Asuma. Seeing Kimimaro following Asuma's side, Gong Yi had already vaguely guessed in his heart. It turned out Sarutobi Hiruzen. He arranged Kimimaro beside Asuma. As an instructor, now Sarutobi Asuma is obviously a very good ninja, and the team he leads is naturally the best. However, Gong Yi knew that Sarutobi Hiruzen had no intention of drinking alcohol, he had other intentions. Now Kimimaro's strength and talent are indeed very attractive. Especially Kimimaro's Shikatsumyaku, Dead Bone Pulse, Kekkei Genkei, then it is even more eye-catching. With such a combat power for his allegiance, the future of Konoha Village will be even more prosperous. Let Asuma lead the team. It is estimated that there is Sarutobi Hiruzen. He is trying to win over Kimimaro. Oh, it's not bad. Gong Yi thought of this and smiled inwardly. Anyway, from this point of view, Sarutobi Asuma is not long Kimimaro. The fact that he will arrange for Kimimaro to enter Anbu, the whole plot will force it to be right. After all, Nara Shikamaru, Akamichi Choji, Yamanaka Ino and other 3, but Sarutobi Asuma is still needed to lead. If it becomes Kimimaro now, it is estimated that the whole plot will also become a mess. According to Gong Yi's long experience, it should not be like this. Anyway, it doesn't matter, it's not bad to have a good workout with Sarutobi Asuma. Senses, looking at Kimimaro and the 2, Gong Yi said lightly, going to perform the mission. That's right, Teacher Gong Yi. Kimimaro answered him directly with a smile on his cold face. This is the first mission for the first time, and there will be no danger to life. Sarutobi Asuma also looked at Gong Yi and said slowly, Master Gong Yi, you can rest assured. Well. Gong Yi didn't say anything, just nodded. I'm naturally relieved that you will lead the team. Gong Yi naturally didn't care much about Kimimaro. Sarutobi Asuma doesn't know his strength, Gong Yi does. 6 courses. His strength is not something that ordinary ninjas can compete with. At the beginning, he could easily fight with the Jinchuriki column strength of the 4-tailed people, and ordinary tasks would not be difficult for him. Now it's just to perform some common tasks, Gong Yi will not worry about it too much. Furthermore, Gong Yi naturally knew the strength of Sarutobi Asuma. As the ninja who guarded the safety of the daimyo, he was naturally not weak. Well, Sarutobi Hiruzen will definitely not cheat his son, and it is estimated that the task arranged is very simple. So all of this is nothing to worry about for Gong Yi. At the same time, the 2 teenagers, Genin, standing behind Kimimaro, were looking at Gong Yi with admiration. The 2 did not dare to say more, nor did they discuss in a low voice. Now seeing this legend of the ninja world, they are more excited. Chapter 367. The First Mission, 3rd. Gong Yi is in Konoha village. It belongs to the existence of Shenlong, who sees the beginning and does not see the end. You can almost see him for a long time, except Ariyi and Gong Ling, that is, only Kimimaro and Hyuga Neji. Even Sarutobi Hiruzen. In fact, if there is no important thing to go to him, it is rare to see Gong Yi. So at this moment, ordinary people can really have the opportunity to see Gong Yi, and it is indeed very exciting. After all, in the village of Konoha, Gong Yi has been praised to a very mythical realm. Almost every new generation of ninjas are all working hard for Gong Yi. He has become the most powerful role model for every ninja. The 2 genins who can now be assigned to Sarutobi Asuma are naturally not ordinary civilian ninjas. All from the famous family of Konoha village, and now they have heard of Gong Yi's deeds, but more than the rest. So today they can see Gong Yi, and both of them have gaff faces, because it's really not easy. Then Lord Gong Yi, let us go first. Hearing Gong Yi's words, Sarutobi Asuma replied. Good. Gong Yi nodded and looked at Kimimaro. Since you have joined the ninja team, then behave well. Don't worry, teacher Gong Yi. Kimimaro smiled and put on a determined look. You won't be disappointed. Obviously, he knew that, as a disciple of Gong Yi, he would not do anything that would disgrace Gong Yi. Soon, the 4 of Sarutobi Asuma were sent away, and Gong Yi walked in the direction of the ninja hospital. Walk out of Konoha village. Sarutobi Asuma looked at the 3 people in front of him, and said slowly, although this is your first time to perform a mission, but according to each of you's abilities, this time we are not carrying out a regular mission. Well, Asuma-sensei, what is that mission? Could it be a legendary mission? Hearing Sarutobi Asuma finish, the 2 genins next to Kimimaro asked. Obviously now they are completely ignorant of the details of the mission. After all, the 2 are in their respective families, and it is generally heard that they have just joined the ninja group, which is just doing some routine tasks is generally very boring. Now, looking at Sarutobi Asuma's meaning, it seems that their next mission may be something special, and the 2 have expressions of anticipation on their faces. No, the mission is not something you can pick up just after the start. Hearing the 2 open their mouths, Sarutobi Asuma shook his head and continued, this time it's a first-level mission. Although it doesn't seem to be of a high level, it is much higher than the first mission of other teams. Level mission. When Kimimaro, who had not spoken all the time, heard the words, he looked at Sarutobi and said, what are the specific details? Escort an item to the land of bears. Sarutobi Asuma didn't hide anything, and directly told the 3 of them about the mission this time. Speaking, he also patted the bag on his back. The stuff is inside, we just need to deliver it safely, then that's it. Ah, isn't this just sending something? Yeah, Asuma-sensei, it's not challenging at all. When Sarutobi Asuma finished speaking, the two genins were a little disappointed and complained feebly. Hee, don't underestimate the level escort mission, it has risks and will be upgraded at any time. Sarutobi Asuma didn't feel angry because of what the two said, but smiled and explained to them. The two genins in front of me, Moonlight Izumi Peak and Abarameti en Luo, although they are not as talented as Kimimaro, they are also outstanding in the ninja school. And their families are also famous families, especially Abarameti en Luo's family, which is very prosperous in Konoha village. Well, just as Gongyi thought, if the two had no identity background, how could they be assigned to Sarutobi Asuma's team? You must know that their leading teacher is the son of the third generation of Hokage, and he is also an excellent teacher. Jonin. Whether it is actual combat experience or all aspects, it is almost very superior. After all, no one can be a teacher like Kimimaro with a presence like Gongyi. In this way, being able to join Sarutobi Asuma's team now, the family of the two has naturally put a lot of thought behind it. Normally, ordinary families, or teachers assigned to commoners, and ninja squads would not be so good. Their leading teacher may even be Chunin, and as for the task, it is impossible to have such a variety of tasks. Konoha village, although it seems to be very sunny in the anime, without the slightest conspiracy and obscure things. Not so. When you don't show your due value, you will be slowly buried, and finally gradually become just the existence of cannon fodder. Recalling the original Gongyi was exactly like that. If he didn't show his worth in the first place, then naturally he wouldn't be valued in Konoha village. Therefore, he will not rise slowly like this step by step. Now with the passage of time, such things have not slowly diminished because of the passage of time. Okay, let's go now. Sarutobi Asuma tightened the backpack on his back and walked straight ahead. And Kimimaro, who was always reticent to talk on the 320 side, also walked away and followed behind Sarutobi Asuma. Okay. Moonlight Izumi Peak and Abarame Tianluo saw that Sarutobi Asuma did not speak much, but shrugged their shoulders and followed. Carefully, they are indeed much better than the rest of the group. Such a thought, Moonlight Izumi Peak and Abarame Tianluo also felt a lot more comfortable. Soon, the four-person team of four was getting farther and farther away from Konoha village, and slowly set off towards the land of bears. However, just after Kimimaro and the others set off, Gongyi, who had already arrived at the dean's office, jumped in his heart. This time Sarutobi Asuma and the others went out on a mission, and Gongyi suddenly thought of something. When Namikaze Minato performed the mission with himself, it seemed that he also brought two strange genins besides Kakashi. But in the end, they died in the battle. Now, according to the next plot, Sarutobi Asuma and Kimimaro thought of this. But Gongyi quickly suppressed his thoughts and shook his head. It shouldn't be possible, I guess it's too much thinking. As long as the entire ninja world doesn't encounter cage-level powerhouses, or perverts like Akatsuki, if Kimimaro wants to escape, no one can stop him. Chapter 368. His Disciple. Thinking of these, naturally it's not that Gongyi is overthinking. I have tried my best to cultivate Kimimaro, and naturally I don't want to destroy it. Particular, Kimimaro has inherited many of his abilities now, and is loyal. Now, at the most delicate moment in this Konoha village, it is not a good thing to be without a support by my side. There shouldn't be any problems, after all, it's just an ordinary task. The thoughts came to him, and Gongyi didn't think about it anymore. Anyway, he was quite confident about Kimimaro. The sky was gradually obscured by dark clouds, and the light rain began to fall. Sarutobi Asuma and Kimimaro and others, they are still there, marching. However, as we set off more and more forward, the weather where the sun was shining brightly and cloudless before has disappeared. It was replaced by a depressing gloom and a very uncomfortable damp feeling. Just over 100 meters away, the rainfall has begun to increase. It seems that we have stepped out of the border of the country of fire, and we have now officially entered the scope of the country of rain. Sarutobi Asuma looked at the surrounding environment, and then continued. The country of rain, it is located at the junction of the country of earth, the country of wind, and the country of fire, because it has been in the three kingdoms for a long time, so there are always wars and chaos. The ninja here. They are also mostly belligerents, so you should be more careful. If they want to go to the land of bears, the distance they need to travel is not close. 4 need to go out of the country of rain in the country of fire, and then cross the country of birds before they can officially reach the border position of the country of bears. Although it is only a level quest, and the path is only some ordinary small countries, there are still a lot of dangers. Sarutobi Asuma has a lot of experience, although this time he was with a few elite students from Konoha village, but he did not take it lightly. Now he turned his head and told Kimimaro again, although the country of rain is not as strong as the country of fire, you can't relax your vigilance, you know. Quote. Yeah, I understand Asuma-sensei. Aburame Tianra and Moonlight Izumimin replied with excited faces. And Kimimaro, who had been talking very little from the beginning to the end, just nodded. Completely different from the way he treated Gongyi before, now he seems to be. No one is allowed to enter. Giving everyone a feeling of being difficult to touch, even Sarutobi Asuma shrugged when he saw Kimimaro's appearance, expressing that he was helpless too. This time, his father Sarutobi Hiruzen, who arranged Kimimaro in his team, actually wanted to win over him. Originally, Sarutobi Asuma still had some hope, but seeing Kimimaro like this now, he completely wanted to give up. Especially when I think of Gongyi seeing himself and others today, he seems to be smiling but not smiling, as if. A kind of sarcasm. Now that I think about it, Sarutobi Asuma understands. His disciple, it is not easy to change. No, it should be said that it was me and my father, it was just wanting to be single. Now, just relying on Kimimaro's appearance, Faye Asuma knows one thing, joining his own team through Kimimaro, thereby changing his mind, is completely unsuccessful. The rain is still ticking down. Now the 4 of them unknowingly have begun to enter the hinterland of the country. According to the route in the map, Sarutobi Asuma has taken them to avoid the location of a Megakure village. Although it is now in a time of peace, it would be quite troublesome to approach the ninja village of the armed forces in the land of rain without authorization. Especially Sarutobi Asuma, he also brought Kimimaro 3 people, which will make him unable to perform. Kimimaro's current strength has always been a hidden stage. Sarutobi Asuma has no idea of Kimimaro's true powers, other than some kind of power being leaked out. The current Kimimaro, in Sarutobi Asuma's eyes, is nothing but a genin with powerful talents. He knew there that this indifferent guy standing behind him, he looked harmless to humans and animals, but he had fought against the 4-tailed Jinchuriki column force. At the same time, just as Sarutobi Asuma led them towards the position of the land of birds. The land of birds, in the dense jungle. Although it is not as prosperous as in the land of fire, there are also a lot of various resources. Swish, swish, swish. At this moment, several figures flashed past. There were 5 or 6 people in total. I saw them at this moment, and everyone's face showed a pale look. A professional combat uniform represents his identity as a ninja. From the forehead guards they are wearing now, it can be seen that several of them are ninjas from Kumogakure village. Damn it, it's hard for us to get out of here in this situation. One of the Kumogakure village ninjas bit Kiba and cursed, looking behind him from time to time, as if someone was chasing them. Now that the information has been lost, we can only save our lives first. Village of Kumogakure at the forefront here, he shouted to the rest of the people around him. Understood. The people around nodded, and their faces all showed the appearance of comprehension. No, let's go. Boom. At this moment, a Kumogakure village ninja on the side showed a startled look. He was about to blurt out the words, but it was immediately interrupted by a loud explosion. The branch he had just slid into was already covered with detonating charms, and it was just disguised. Bastard, we've been tricked. The last few Kumogakure village ninjas started to stop and look back there. I saw that there was no one behind, it was just. They were just running around in front. A group of tolerant people from Kumogakure village, all of them came here to perform their missions. However, they encountered a sneak attack on the way, resulting in the loss of their intelligence. Not only that, they didn't find the enemy at all, but they were killed one by one. The ninjas of the previous squadron have come to the present, and only one of their squads is left in the end. They were completely unable to capture the enemy, and at this moment they could only choose to escape. After all, only now that they are out of here can these things be brought back to Kumogakure village. But looking at the current situation, they were ambushed as soon as they came here. Apparently these mysterious ninjas who secretly attacked themselves should have calculated that they and others would choose to escape here. Bastard, who is it? Flick of his wrist, he took Kuwu out and pinned it in front of his chest. The Kumogakure Jonin looked around nervously, quietly examining. Chapter 369. Hunting 3 people, 5th more. From the beginning to the present, they have killed so many people, yet they still haven't found the enemy. Everyone be careful. The last Kumogakure Jonin shouted and called all the ninjas from the surrounding Kumogakure village to his side. Everyone is like this, holding kunai in their hands and looking nervously in all directions. Kang, a crisp sound appeared beside it. Spark suddenly appeared in front of one of the Kumogakure Chunin. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Without any hesitation, when they saw something strange suddenly appeared in front of them, they immediately. He threw out the kunai in his hand and shot towards it. One after another, the sound of gold and iron symphony appeared, and I saw that the few kunai just now were all bounced off and fell to the ground. He's actually hiding. At this time, the Kumogakure Chunin just now immediately. He looked forward in surprise. I saw the empty place just now, and now there is a guy in a black robe with a long knife and ninja in his hand. He was not very tall, and his entire face was completely hidden in the big hood, so he couldn't see his appearance at all. Hee, it was actually discovered. A sarcastic cold 320 laughter came out. All the ninjas in Kumogakure village looked up and followed the voice, and saw a black-robed man standing on the thick tall tree in front of them. Then kill them all quickly, and we'll go back and settle the mission. Here, a black-robed man appeared again, with a cold killing intent all over his body. Oops, they belong to the black market of the ninja world. Hunting 3 people. When Kumogakure Jonin saw the 3 men in black robes, his heart sank, and his complexion became even paler. Hunting 3 people. The 3 of them are ninjas who do not belong to the 5 major ninja villages, and have long lived together in the underground black market of the ninja world to carry out bounty tasks. Boss, good at making traps, and grandmaster of various spells and ninja tools. Second child is good at disguise and has a secret technique that can hide everything. Third child is good at assassination, and his superb swordsmanship makes people terrified. 3 people 3 have now made a lot of reputation in the ninja continent because of their tacit cooperation. Even said that they perform tasks, and the employment fees they receive are not low. Now this time, the information about their Kumogakure village has been lost, and it is very likely that a black hand from a certain village used the information they wanted to capture Kumogakure village, and finally killed them all. Damn, even if it is you, give me a counterattack. He saw that his enemy was actually the 3 well-known hunting trio in the black market, and Kumogakure Jonin here has quickly hand-sealed with both hands. Raiden Thunder Style, Re-Explosive Flow Technique. Before Zero waited for the 3 of them to speak, Kumogakure Jonin had already used chakra to condense a violent thunderbolt. After he released the ninjutsu, he swung his arm forward, and a large piece of thunder and lightning was suppressed in front of him like an ocean wave. Not over. Just when the 3 of them started to retreat to the back, after this large piece of thunder and lightning touched the ground, a huge explosion began. The location spreads, making people unable to respond. The crackling sound echoed in the ears, and everything in front of everyone has become extremely blue. Kumogakur Jonin, who is in charge of the entire squadron, is naturally not weak, and the Raiden Thunder style ninjutsu released at this moment is very powerful. Raiden Thunder style Thunder Blade technique. Raiden Thunder style Thunder Bullet technique. Seeing that Jonin on his side released his ninjutsu, the rest of the Kumogakur village ninjas also started hand seal with both hands. Naturally, they don't mind adding fuel to the fire, making the situation of the three people in front of them even more passive. The sound of bang 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 kept appearing, the whole earth began to crack, and the top was extremely blackened by the thunder and lightning. Here, Sarutobi Asuma and others who had just left in the Land of Rain had already officially entered the territory of the Land of Birds. The dark and humid environment disappeared, and the light rain that had been falling gradually began to stop. Catches the eye as a green jungle, and there are flowing streams around it, which makes people look very peaceful and quiet. They finally left the country of rain, and it's safe for the time being. Seeing that he had successfully arrived at the Land of Birds, Sarutobi Asuma secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Now that there is an Omegakur village in the Land of Rain, there is naturally a little risk. Although they have bypassed them, they still dare not let people take it lightly. Now that he has left, the Kingdom of Birds will make people feel more at ease. Because their armed ninja power is not strong, even a little unknown. Although the Kingdom of Birds is also a country, it is very small and its strength is not very high. Sarutobi Asuma has been by the daimyo of the country of fire for a long time, and he also has some understanding of the forces of the entire ninja continent. Basically, he and others passed the country of birds smoothly, sent things to the country of bears, and then they could come back safely. This level of mission can be considered a successful conclusion. This is the first time that Sarutobi Asuma has taken this group of genins on a mission, so naturally there will be a sense of responsibility in her heart. If something goes wrong with them, it will affect some of their reputations in disguise. After all, as the son of Hokage, he didn't want to lose the face of his father Sarutobi Hiruzen. It would be very embarrassing to say that one's excellent jonin can't even protect a few genins. Looks like our mission is over. Looking at the quiet surroundings, Moonlight Izumi Peak said lightly. A bit of disappointment on his face, and he was obviously still thinking about the fight that was going to happen. Who came out of the ninja school naturally want to go out in real battles. The various deeds of brainwashing at the beginning, plus the legendary deeds of Gong Yi, made each of them feel that they were special. So I really want to go through battles and come and go to better temper myself. But a group of naive genin couldn't imagine how cruel this war really is. They think the battle is too simple. After all, this is not as simple as the arena assessment supervised by the teacher in the ninja school. Here, Moonlight Izumi Peak just finished speaking, and Aburame Tien Luo also said slowly, Asuma-sensei, this task seems to be a bit simple. Hehe, do you think this is easy? When Sarutobi Asuma heard the two finish speaking, he shook his head with a funny look on his face. You still haven't experienced a real battle, and now this is actually the best for you. Boom! As if slapped in the face, Sarutobi Asuma's voice just fell, and they didn't wait. The two went to speak again, and there was a huge explosion in the distance. Chapter 370, Kumogakur Fury. As soon as the terrifying explosion sounded, it was followed by a surge of air into the sky. The surrounding trees began to bend continuously, and finally some even began to break. The dust of Hulula kept flying, like a small sandstorm, sweeping the whole front. Sarutobi Asuma and others who have just entered the country of birds, they can clearly feel that the power of this explosion is definitely not low. Now all of them are blocking their hands with their hands, preparing to avoid this upcoming shock wave. Next second. Before Sarutobi Asuma could speak, an invisible force came towards them. It was like a big invisible hand that was invisible, ready to push and pull them back. The whistling wind whistled, and some trees collapsed. Beings like Kimimaro and Sarutobi Asuma are okay, at least they are standing there. But the two Moonlight Izumi peaks, Aburame Tianra, who only had the strength of genin just now, are indeed unlucky. The clothes were being blown, and the two of them even took a few steps back and almost sat on the ground unsteadily. If Sarutobi Asuma hadn't dragged the two of them in the end, they would have been thrown far away by this shock wave. There is a battle ahead. When the momentary pressure dissipated, Sarutobi Asuma saw the depths of the jungle inside, and said with a frown. This loud explosion sound definitely means that someone is fighting fiercely. Especially feeling the way just now, the people inside are probably no ordinary petty jokes. I'll start, be careful. Sarutobi Asuma turned his head to look at the three Kimimaro. Let's avoid this battlefield, and don't make too much noise. Although he knew that there was a battle ahead, Sarutobi Asuma was not going to watch the battle. If he was alone, he might still go to see it. Now that there are three genins behind him, Sarutobi Asuma will not be stupid enough to take them into the battlefield. It is absolutely impossible for an ordinary genin chunin to be able to make such a movement. The last existence is definitely at the level of Jonin. At that time, there is a real danger, and Sarutobi Asuma can't guarantee that Moonlight Izumi Peak, Aburame Tianra and the others will survive. A simple choice. It was already very clear that Sarutobi Asuma would rather give up the mission than choose to enter here again. Let's go this way. Sarutobi Asuma looked at the scroll map in his hand and decided to avoid it. Although it will be a lot slower according to the original plan, it can effectively avoid the jungle battlefield ahead. It's also a good choice. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Asuma looked at the three people behind. Before you return to the realm of the Fire Nation, don't let your guard down, be careful. It must be entrusted again and again. For them to just execute Ren Genin like this, they will naturally be very impetuous. Wasn't Sarutobi Asuma exactly like this at the beginning? I hope to show off my skills. As time passed, Sarutobi knew clearly that if it wasn't for his father, he would have died countless times on the battlefield. Soon, while Sarutobi Asuma was still sighing, Kimimaro looked into the depths of the jungle thoughtfully with an indifferent expression. I don't know what he was thinking, but when Sarutobi Asuma was gone, Kimimaro didn't stop and chose to follow. Boom! On the field. The battle is still going on at this moment. Hunting three people, they were not killed by the compound ninjutsu of Kumogakure village ninjas. This is a skill, and they even killed 3 or 4 people in turn. Were only a few Kumogakure ninjas left, biting Kiba and looking forward. I saw the third child, who was good at assassination, had disappeared. Apparently, the second child used a secret technique to cover up his figure and wait for an opportunity to attack and kill them. The boss, who has been standing on the tall tree with a sneer, looked at several people, obviously also waiting for the opportunity to shoot. Bastard. Captain, what should we do? A Kumogakure Chunin has a very bad face and keeps alerting his surroundings with his eyes. I saw that the kunai he was holding in his hand now had dense traces of broken teeth on it, and it was obvious that it was about to be unusable. Hunting 3 people in 3 groups is really difficult to deal with. I underestimated them. The leader, Kumogakure Jonin, stared at the eldest and second eldest in front of him, a little unwilling. It seems that the whole jungle has long been trapped by them, and we are just stepping in right now. As an excellent Jonin, he still knows a little bit about these bounty ninjas in the black market of the ninja world. The eldest of the 3 hunters, he is good at creating traps, and also the Grand Master of various spells and ninja tools. If he arranges it in advance, he and others will definitely not feel good. So many people have just died, and almost half of them fell into his trap. So combined with the second child's camouflage secret technique and the third child's assassination ability, they are simply in a state of no solution. You think about it simply, you can see that since you can create a reputation in the black market with many mistakes, it is naturally impossible to be an ordinary guy. Hee, don't make senseless struggles. The eldest dodged and came to the second child. With a hoarse voice, he looked at the last few Kumogakure village ninjas and said in a low voice, "Now you can't get out of this jungle. ... Aren't you afraid of bearing the wrath of Kumogakure village?" Biting Kiba, Kumogakure Jonin looked at them immediately. Drink. Now that he was forced to have some helplessness, he had no choice but to tell the Kumogakure village behind him, trying to get them to give up this idea. Kumogakure village. 3 hunters heard Kumogakure Jonin finished speaking. He actually laughed. "Now that I will kill you, who can know all this?" PFF'd. Ah. At this time, the sound of a knife cutting into the flesh appeared. The two faced off. A Kumogakure Chunin was directly killed. With a plop, his eyes widened, and a bloodstain appeared on his neck. Who is good at assassination? He has been hiding around himself and others, like a dormant poisonous snake attacking at any time, killing people with one blow. Show me your spirit, don't let your guard down. After the whole person burst back, this Kumogakure Jonin had already started to hand seal with both hands and press down on the ground. Raiden Thunder Style Technique. An azure blue thunderbolt suddenly erupted and appeared on the whole ground. The sound of sizzling continued, and they seemed to be beating snakes constantly appearing on the ground. The name of Jonin, they only had 3 people left, and they were already cornered. Meanwhile, on the other hand. Enter. Chapter 371. Ambush. Serial traps. Meanwhile, the other side. After Sarutobi Asuma took a detour on the battlefield over there, they also entered the jungle directly. Although the movement over there can still be vaguely heard, it has become smaller and smaller. Obviously, they were getting further and further away from that battlefield. Asuma-sensei, why don't we go take a look? On the way to the country of bears, Aburame Tianra came to Sarutobi Asuma and asked. Yes, Asuma-sensei, we should go and see. Moonlight Izumi Peak heard it. He also nodded his head beside him, and followed suit. It's dangerous, it's not something you can understand. Sarutobi Asuma looked at Aburame and Tianluo and replied lightly. Now along the way, accept. Kimimaro is showing the ninja level it deserves. The current Aburame Tianluo, 3220. With Moonlight Izumi Peak, I am very disappointed with it. A simple comparison of the 3 people 3 can already be clearly analyzed. The students taught by Gongyi are completely incomparable to ordinary big families. Sarutobi Asuma feels impeccable, both in mood and in every way. Especially, that calm and composed appearance. Sarutobi Asuma seems to have inherited a lot of Gongyi's feeling. This is simply not something that ordinary people can cultivate. Even if it is some so-called famous families, it is absolutely impossible. Just like the current Aburame Tianluo and Moonlight Izumi Peak, they are fighting each other, and they feel that everything is fearless and completely stunned. It's really the flowers of the greenhouse. In the overall peaceful and quiet environment of Konoha village, they have no idea of the cruelty of war. Heading for the road ahead, Sarutobi Asuma looked at the two of them out of the corner of his eye, and muttered to himself. Through this mission, you can see the character and shortcomings of everyone now. Obviously, the two are not very to Sarutobi Asuma's taste, and he seems to have decided something. Okay, it's always been dangerous. Hearing Sarutobi Asuma finish speaking, Aburame Tianluo shrugged his shoulders and landed helplessly behind him. But in the next second, without waiting for anyone to speak again, a squeak suddenly appeared. Aburame Tianluo he just wanted to catch up with Sarutobi Asuma and others. But at this time, he didn't know what he was stepping on, and flames began to burn in an instant. Detonator. When Sarutobi Asuma heard the sound and looked over, the whole person immediately. His complexion changed, and he immediately shouted, "Let's go." Saying that, he immediately Izumi Peak, which was closest to him, and immediately ducked to the side. And Kimimaro didn't start to tap the ground with one foot at this time, and suddenly he also burst back to the side. Asuma-sensei, help! Boom, Before Aburame Tianluo said these words, his morning face was swallowed by flames in an instant. A huge explosion swept through. The terrifying air waves swept the four directions, and in a short flash of lightning, the huge pressure completely shattered Aburame Tianluo's whole body. This is only a momentary thing, and it is impossible for people to react at all. Even if Sarutobi Asuma is excellent, it is impossible to save Aburame Tianluo after stepping on the explosive symbol. The pretentious Aburame Tianluo, he finally understood at the last moment, why Sarutobi Asuma has been so careful. Didn't care that he regretted it very much in the end, but it was of no use at all, and he could only use death as the price of enlightenment. No one can turn the tide and fix it all. Zilla, Zilla, Zilla. It's not over yet. Wait, Sarutobi Asuma spoke to Kimimaro and others, and the sound of detonators began to appear again all around. This is a continuous trap. As long as one of the detonators explodes, all the surrounding ones will be ignited together. Futon, wind style, Kui Lan gale technique. Hula. After all, he is still an excellent Jonin who has experienced many battles, although he encountered such a series of traps suddenly. However, Sarutobi Asuma did not lose his mind, but he quickly hand-sealed, opened his mouth and spit out a gust of wind. When this gust of wind was created by chakra, it quickly enlarged in front of Sarutobi Asuma, until it became a hurricane-like scale. The whistling sound filled my ears, and I saw that it was like a natural barrier, blocking the in front of Sarutobi Asuma. Izumi Peak, who was following behind him, was completely dumbfounded, and his whole brain was completely blank. Shikatsumyaku, dead bone pulse, bone shield. Here, Kimimaro saw that there were actually detonating charms around him. He also immediately unleashed his own Kekkei Genkei. Although his face showed surprise, he did not panic. After studying with Gongyi for so long, and taking him on several missions through Gongyi, Kimimaro's experience is not that great. But he has a lot of knowledge, and in this situation, he won't be as completely dumbfounded as Moonlight Izumi Peak and others. The high-density bones began to be condensed and began to appear outward in the shape of a body. As Kimimaro stepped back, his hands moved forward, and they slowly began to form a shield. With the height of one person, Kimimaro was completely blocked from the back, and the normal damage of the detonator alone could not hurt him at all. Boom, boom, boom. When Sarutobi Asuma and Kimimaro's defenses have just been constructed, the detonators on the entire jungle have begun to have a chain explosion reaction. The sound of rumbling and rumbling continued to be heard, and the high pressure and strong air waves stirred up after the huge explosion completely destroyed the dense jungle just now. Huge charred pits have begun to appear in the entire land, trees have long since collapsed, and some have turned to ashes. On Sarutobi Asuma's side, the huge hurricane in front of him continued to absorb the power of the explosion. In just this short moment, all the strong coercion has been overcome by it. 6 offset absorption. Standing behind it, Sarutobi Asuma and Moonlight Izumi Peak were safe and unharmed. Kimimaro here, he does the same. The white bone shield in front of him seems to be not very strong in defense. But unfortunately, after blocking the coercion of so many explosions just now, it was not damaged in the slightest. There wasn't even a single crack on Bai Chuan's bone shield, it was just a little charred black. Shikatsumyaku, dead bone pulse, this Kekkei Genkei who can attack and defend together is not blown. It has a super physical attack ability, and also has a tyrannical defense ability. When Gongyi took Kimimaro, it was not a random move. The apprentice he chose, how could there be an ordinary existence? NLT, otherwise Block Collection IP. Chapter 372. The ability that belongs to the bones. Although it has experienced a series of explosions now. But Kimimaro was unharmed in the slightest. His Shikatsumyaku, dead bone pulse, Kekkei Genkei, that's pretty scary. At the beginning, Gongyi had already judged that his bones were extremely tough, and the strength was so high that even a chakra knife could not cut it. That Gongyi taught him, Kimamaro's defense status has now reached a high level. In fact, this bone shield was researched by Gong Yi for him and taught him to use it himself. Now inside and out, this bone shield has also saved Kimamaro several times. Hula. As the detonators in the entire area were completely burned, the violent hurricane in front of Sarutobi Asuma gradually dissipated, and then disappeared into a breeze. Kimamaro. Sarutobi Asuma is still there. Worry, if Kimamaro really dies like this, then he will be bad. The Aburame clan lost a clan member to Say-29, but Gong Yi's most capable apprentice, if he were to lose, in this ordinary mission, the entire Konoha village should not think about peace. After all, the relationship between his father and Gong Yi is very delicate, and Sarutobi Asuma understands it. If something really happened to Kimamaro today, then it's very likely that the Sarutobi clan would suffer. But this will work, and when Sarutobi Asuma saw Kimamaro standing far away, he secretly breathed a sigh of relief. However, now Sarutobi Asuma sees Kimamaro's Shikatsunyaku dead bone pulse Kekkei Genkei, and is actually a little horrified. This is the first time Sarutobi Asuma has seen, belonging to, bones. Class capabilities. This closed disciple of Lord Gong Yi. It seems to be very strong. Sarutobi Asuma watched the man-high bone shield slowly retract, and he could not help but secretly said, and the reaction is also perfect, the ability and talent are very outstanding, completely beyond the stage of genin. Through this moment, Sarutobi Asuma has completely guessed Kimamaro's strength. With the explosion and other incidents just now, Kimamaro did not lose Gong Yi's face, but showed his super high ability and level. Tien Luo, is he dead? Behind Sarutobi Asuma, Moonlight Izumi Peak just recovered, and he looked at the ruins in front of him and his legs were weak. The damage there is very serious, the huge charred pits and broken trees make people look chilling. Don't say that Aburame Tien Luo is dead, now he is afraid that he doesn't even have a corpse, completely turned to ashes and dying here. This is the cruelty of war. Sarutobi Asuma turned around, looked at the sluggish Moonlight Izumi Peak, and said, because you don't know when, you will face death. Even though Kimamaro is fine now, Sarutobi Asuma still has a heavy heart. The first time he led a team, he actually killed a team, which he couldn't accept. But he never imagined that such a mission would end up like this. This situation has completely exceeded the level of detachment. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Asuma tensed. Could it be the guy who fought over there before, the trap they set up? After a simple calculation, I have already walked out of the jungle on my side, and now it is very likely that a trap has been set in this marginal position. Damn it, I didn't expect to be so unlucky. Sarutobi Asuma came back to his senses, although the whole person has always been very indifferent, but now facing such a thing, he can't help but curse. Because this shouldn't be their business, but it happened to them, and one person died. Clenching his fists, Sarutobi Asuma looked at the fighting position in the distance, and then he looked at Kimamaro. How are you now? It's no big deal. Kimamaro nodded, dodging already in front of him. Now Kimamaro doesn't have too many worries, he still has the life-saving scroll that Gong Yi gave him before. If it wasn't for an enemy that was too terrifying, Kimamaro would basically have a chance to escape once he could end fight. Ah, Asuma-sensei, let's go back to the village. Moonlight Izumi Peak said with a trembling voice, and his whole body felt cold. Was still in high spirits just now and felt that I was not afraid of anything had collapsed after Aburame Tien Luo's inexplicable death. Now he just wants to return to the village safely and then think about the next thing. Moonlight Izumi Peak is timid, and has been staying in the stable environment of Konoha village, with the protection of his family. He is indeed a little arrogant. But now that he has seen this situation, he has completely lost this thought. Slowly rise in battle like Lord Gong Yi. Now he finally understands how difficult it is for Lord Gong Yi to make the entire ninja world fear and become a legend. No, it should be something he could never imagine in his life. At the current Moonlight Izumi Peak, he has only one thought: to return to the village. Abarameti and Luo, who had just complained to himself about Sarutobi Asuma, was blown to ashes in the next second. He didn't want this. Go back to Konoha village now. Sarutobi Asuma nodded and looked at Kimimaro. If you don't have anything, we will immediately end the mission. Know how to choose. 3. Now Sarutobi Asuma knows in his heart that such things are beyond the scope of their mission. Especially when something like this happened, he couldn't send things safely to the Kingdom of Bears at all. Also, the people fighting in the jungle, they come from that ninja village and that faction. Sarutobi Asuma is completely ignorant. At present, after detonating the ambush mechanism here, he and others have been exposed. Sarutobi Asuma chose to quickly return to Konoha village without knowing whether it was an enemy or a friend inside. The most sensible choice is to go back to Konoha. At that time, I will lead the Anbu ninja to investigate these things. Instead of taking Kimimaro and a completely inexperienced genin on an adventure now. After a simple filter in his mind, Sarutobi Asuma had a firm face and said to the two, now accelerate with all your strength, follow the same path back to Konoha village, don't stop. The time in the field, both sides, is almost exactly the same. 3 people of hunting were about to start. There was a huge explosion in the far edge. The Kumogakure village ninjas and all of them were stunned. What's the situation? Someone touched my trap. 3 hunters had a gloomy face and muttered in a low voice. Chapter 373. Catastrophic Consequences. First. It's the ninja of Kumogakure village. Second child also looked bad and looked at the location of the explosion. No, impossible. The third child slowly recovered from the invisible state, still holding the ninja's sword flowing with the blood of the orangutan Yuhi. Now they are the only ninjas in Kumogakure village, and I have already killed the rest. Hurry up and get rid of these guys, let's go and see. Boss turned his head, killing intent completely erupted, and the whole person looked towards the group of Kumogakure village ninjas. Now his hoarse voice is very uncomfortable to hear. Could it be that our support is here? There is hope in the eyes of the last few ninjas in the village of Kumogakure. Impossible. Kumogakure Jonin shook his head and denied the words of several people. We just had an accident here, and the village will not know about it. Now we should leave here while the chaos is true. Seeing that the hunting trio stopped, this Kumogakure Jonin had already decided to run away. After a short while, there were already a lot of corpses lying around, and they could not compete with the trio in front of them. Previously, a small squadron could not take advantage of them. Now that there are only a few of them left, there is even more hope. Especially now that the name is Kumogakure Jonin, he feels that his chakra is almost exhausted. Took him a lot of strength to fight for so long just now. The last few Kumogakure ninjas have already fled. 3 hunters saw several people leaving. He snorted coldly with a gloomy expression. Now the 3 of them didn't try to stop them at all, they just watched with cold eyes. Boom, boom, boom. The last few Kumogakure ninjas stepped into the trap with unwilling expressions in just half a second. They never thought that so many traps would be set in front of them. A squadron of ninjas, the only one left is Kumogakure Jonin, who is still there, struggling. PFF'd. But before he could be shocked, the third child had come to him and ended his life with a knife. Panic and the exhaustion of chakra, he was completely powerless to resist, and only heard a thud. He was in falls from the air and becomes a corpse. Second brother, please clean up here. I and the third child will go to see there. Boss didn't look at the group of Kumogakure village ninjas, but immediately flashed away. Here, the third child also put the sword in his scabbard behind him and followed. The direction they are heading is exactly where Sarutobi Asuma and Kun are. As bounty ninjas, although they are rich, the risks they take are not small. Now, under such circumstances, if they killed so many Kumogakure ninjas, it was fully revealed. 3 of them couldn't bear the anger of a powerful ninja at all. In this way, they must do all these things well, then leave here in peace. Absolutely no one is allowed to spread this matter out, it would be disastrous for them. Eldest and the eldest are very fast, and they will reach the explosion position after a few dodges. Swish, swish. The next second, the two stopped, and they were now standing in the deep pit of Nuoda. Surroundings were extremely charred and black, which should have been the location of the jungle, but now it has been completely bombed into a vacuum of ruins. I actually stepped into the detonation formation of the Big Brother. It is estimated that they have all turned to ashes and died. Looking at the surrounding environment, the third child sneered, but the whole person didn't care too much. No, look at the positions on both sides of that side. The boss shook his head in denial, and said, he pointed his hand to the side. Hearing this, the second child looked in the direction of his finger. I saw that although the surrounding area was severely damaged, two of them were in completely different locations. Although the front of them was severely damaged, there was nothing behind them, and they didn't look like they were baptized by the explosion at all. Apparently there had been something there that successfully resisted the pressure of the explosion, causing the pressure to shift all the way to the front, and then keeping the back safe. Brother, did someone discover a trap and release defensive ninjutsu in advance? Third child is not stupid. His relaxed face suddenly became solemn, and he looked at the elder next to him. It seems that someone has left. After all, this is an ordinary early warning detonation rune, and only ordinary ninjas can be left. The boss's hoarse voice came out, and he said coldly. Senses, he seemed to have discovered something again, and went straight to one of the locations. The footprints seemed to be that they should have left in the direction of the land of rain, and they walked in a hurry. In front of the boss, a messy footprint appeared, obviously untreated. Obviously, after encountering such a thing here, they decided to retreat and leave. The boss looked at the dense jungle ahead, and he continued, they must be very shrewd, and they did not choose to take risks and move towards the position where we just fought. Big Brother, let's catch them now and kill them all. Third child had a murderous look on his face, and he had a bloodthirsty smile on his face. He obviously felt that all this was no big deal. Three people who have been famous in the black market for a long time have rarely suffered losses, which has also caused their hearts to gradually swell. Otherwise, ordinary people would not dare to touch the ninjas in the great ninja village. Basically, if it is discovered, it will definitely be a very troublesome thing. Now the three of them dared to snatch the secret scroll of Kumogakure village, and also killed their entire squadron of ninjas. Among them are several Jonin, with the presence of good ones and Chunin. 4. Ninja village, don't think that there are too many Jonin, and no matter how you die, you can't die. Fact, it is not very easy to train a Jonin and a Chunin in each village. You lose one, it will be very distressing for ninja village. After all, resources are limited, and today this small squadron was killed, which is definitely a big loss to Kumogakure village. Of course, if Akatsuki is known about killing the Kumogakure village ninja once they hunted the trio, then the trio will definitely not have a good day. That's why before, the bosses who hunted the three-man group set up traps to remind them on the periphery. Then there is the fear that unimportant people will enter, and the wind will leak after leaving. Looking at it at this time, their caution is a very correct choice. Well, you leave a mark on the way and let the second child follow us. Chapter 374. Hearing the third finished speaking, the boss nodded in agreement. Now it is indeed, as he said, we must catch up and kill them all. Although the guy who escaped at present, they still don't know who it is. But this does not affect their idea, because no matter who they are, they will kill them. I and others have not been exposed, but it is not ruled out that it will be leaked. Better to kill by mistake than let it go. This is the idea of the three hunters for a long time. They won't let anyone go, but it might have threatened them. Then their solution is very simple, and there is only one route: slaughter them all. Sha, Speaking of this, the two of them immediately chase forward. The time between the few people is not too bad, and because Sarutobi Asuma is here with Kimimaro and Moonlight Izumi Peak, the speed is not very fast. Although Kimimaro didn't try to slow him down, he couldn't use much speed at all, but Moonlight Izumi, a genin who had just graduated. Although Sarutobi Asuma felt a heart-pounding feeling, but now he did not abandon Moonlight Izumi Peak alone, and chose to rush back with Kimimaro. Even if there were some dangers, Sarutobi Asuma couldn't do that at all. For him, it is impossible for him to finish 320. Now that one member has died, if one is being killed, then Sarutobi Asuma's face is really gone. Creak, creak. Stepping on the fragile branches, the sound is constantly heard. Three are constantly dodging their way, and everyone didn't say anything more. Sarutobi Asuma's face was gloomy, and Kimimaro's face was indifferent. Even the Moonlight Izumi Peak, who kept his mouth all the way, is now following behind the two with his mouth tightly closed and his face pale. He can be said to have used all his speed now and followed the two closely. Moonlight Izumi Peak was extremely fearful in his heart. He was afraid that if he slowed down a little, he would be thrown off by Sarutobi Asuma. The death of Aburame Tienluo is now very exciting to him. Moonlight Izumi Peak now understands that the cruelty of the ninja world far exceeds everything that he can recognize. Aburame Tienluo, who was still looking forward to the battle, he didn't even know how to die, so he turned into fly ash. The fear of such a death is the inner demon of genin who just graduated. Moonlight Izumi Peak is no exception. In the ninja school, although his talent is also good, and a little famous. But, now he already knows that in front of the enemy, he is nothing at all. Swish, swish, swish. In just a short while, they will return to the territory of the Rain Country. They didn't go too far, and they didn't appear too long. Rain began to fall on the sky. The sunny dryness faded away, leaving the dark haze weather. Clothes that had been dry for a short time were soaked again before you knew it. Sound of rain has begun to fill, and they have left the country of birds and re-entered the territory of the country of rain. Whew! Seeing that he has now left the land of birds, Sarutobi Asuma couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Now that we can successfully reach here without encountering any danger, it means that the battle over there is not over. Therefore, now that I am waiting for others here, there should be no problems for the time being. After all, as long as you successfully cross the country of rain, you have already reached the territory of the country of fire. By then, Sarutobi Asuma will have no worries at all. In a secret place just outside, there is also the existence of Anbu in Konoha village. So as long as you insist on returning to the land of fire, then all danger will not happen. And you can also bring a team of one Anbu back there at that time. Aburame Tienluo naturally cannot die in vain, everything needs to be explained. Although Sarutobi Asuma is the son of Hokage, he is also an excellent jonin, and he is not afraid of the Aburame family. However, Aburame Tianra is his own student, and he is dead now, and Sarutobi Asuma also has his own principles. Secret killing swordsmanship. Cut. N. Sarutobi Asuma's thoughts came to him, and a murderous intent suddenly swept up from his side. He immediately. The complexion changed, and the hands immediately hand seal. Futon, wind style, art of wind and dust. Can't wait to see who this is. Sarutobi Asuma puffed out his mouth and spit forward. Hula. A violent whirlwind appeared immediately, showing a straight line and swept away there. Power is not weak. The raindrops falling on the sky began to be melted in an instant. The surrounding trees were also tossed to the sides. Boom! With the loud noise, Sarutobi Asuma's whole body has been immediately came to the ground. Although the killing intent just now disappeared, Sarutobi Asuma did not believe that he would be killed by himself. Damn, are you still chasing after you? Sarutobi Asuma looked up and looked around, biting Kiba secretly. Who is it? Ah, Asuma-sensei. What shall we do? Moonlight Izumi Peak was very flustered. At this time, he came to Sarutobi Asuma's side, and the whole person was about to cry. On the other hand, Kimamaro's face was slowly gloomy, his whole body began to tense, and he was ready to fight at any time. Kimamaro could also clearly feel the killing intent of the sneak attack on Sarutobi Asuma. The enemy they are going to face is not weak. We are going to take a big advantage of the 12 guardians, this is ahead of 10 million taels. At this time, when Sarutobi Asuma and Kimamaro were preparing to fight, a sneer came. The two followed the voice, and two mysterious people in black robes had already appeared in front of them. Unable to see their faces, the entire faces of the two were hidden under the wide brim of their hats. Who are you? When Sarutobi Asuma heard this, his heart jumped, and he looked forward seriously. Although his former identity is not said to be particularly secret, few people will know Akatsuki's own identity. Especially after returning to Konoha village for so long now, there are still people who know about him. So after such a long time, there are still people who can call the 12 guardians of the ninja. Call this out. Of people opposite me. One is one's own. The second is the enemy. Well, Sarutobi Asuma also knows by looking at them like this. They can only be enemies, and absolutely impossible to be their own. Thinking about it, Sarutobi Asuma has already taken out several shuriken in the ninja bag behind him. Chapter 375. Strange Kekkei Genkei 3rd. Now that he has identified himself as an enemy, Sarutobi Asuma will not talk nonsense anymore. That time, if I hadn't reacted quickly, I might have died under their sneak attack. Yeah, the ninjas in Konoha village are very valuable. Hearing the third finished speaking, the eldest also said slowly, according to the previous portrait, it can be confirmed that he is Sarutobi Asuma, one of the 12 guardian ninjas. You. Sarutobi Asuma frowned, ready to start. He has now begun to slowly guess the identities of the two in his heart, and he has heard a little over the years. Sarutobi Asuma, your head has a bounty on the black market, 35 million taels. Third child kept smiling, stared at Sarutobi Asuma and continued, your value is far higher than the group of Kumogakure village ninjas just now. Damn, it really is you. Hearing the two finish speaking, Sarutobi Asuma bit Kiba and scolded, in the black market of the ninja continent, the notorious hunting trio of 3. That's right, Sarutobi Asuma still has some idea about their information. When they were at Daimyo in the Land of Fire before, they had already investigated the guy in the black market who might threaten the life of Daimyo. Hunting 3 people in 3 groups, that's a guy who has no principle at all. They don't get jealous because you're a ninja from Konoha or a ninja from Kumogakure. On the contrary, for some commission tasks, they will be very crazy. Oh, you know us. Third raised his eyebrows, somewhat surprised that Sarutobi Asuma and Sarutobi Asuma actually recognized them, but immediately continued to smile. Tisk tisk, aside from the fact that your heads are worth more than 30 million, I can't let you go. The ninja knife in his hand was clenched tightly, and the third child was ready to shoot. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. However, before he could strike first, Sarutobi Asuma was the first to throw out the shuriken in his hand. Taking advantage of the spare time, Sarutobi Asuma turned his head and said to Kimamaro, Kimamaro, you are responsible for protecting Moonlight Izumi Peak, and they leave it to me to deal with. Some helpless. Now that he knew that his enemies were hunting 3 people, Sarutobi Asuma felt a headache. When he encounters the 3 of them alone, there will inevitably be a fierce battle. Now with Kimamaro and Moonlight Izumi Peak, Sarutobi Asuma feels even more difficult. Now he can only pin his hopes on Kimamaro. Moonlight Izumi Peak, he has no time to care, unless he has the strength to overwhelm the 3 of them. Pity that now he doesn't have the strength of Gongyi, and there's no way he can do anything about it. But soon, when Sarutobi Asuma thought of this, he also immediately continued. Among the 3 of them, one of them has a secret technique of disguise, and may have been hiding around now. Kimimaro, be careful. At the same time, the shuriken thrown by Sarutobi Asuma just now fell to the ground with a bang. The third child of the three hunters came to him in the blink of an eye. Go to hell. Sarutobi Asuma looked a little scared when he saw the third one rushing towards him. Instant, his wrist flicked, and two weapons that were as gentle as a tiger's fingers were in the hands. Chakra hand blade. With a hum, the chakra injection is fused onto the blade. Can be seen that it is extremely sharp. It can even penetrate stones easily, and cut solid objects like thin paper. Kang, the sound of steel slamming appeared, and sparks flew everywhere immediately. The third child's characteristic long knife and ninja tool, he chopped down impartially. However, Sarutobi Asuma has a lot of actual combat experience, but it's not. He said that he would kill him instantly. With his hands in front of him, he firmly blocked the third child's slashing blow. It's interesting. Did not look surprised when he saw that Sarutobi Asuma actually blocked his blow. How can there be ordinary people who can become the 12 guardian ninjas? The three hunting three people know that it is a special organization dedicated to protecting the daimyo of the country of fire. Besides, how can a guy whose head is worth more than 30 million taels be easily dealt with? He is definitely not the same as the Kumogakure village ninja before, who can be easily compared. But at this time, when the third child thinks of this, there is an excited smile on his hidden face. You are difficult to deal with, but it is not you that I want to deal with. Sarutobi Asuma's weakness has been found, and before he can fight back, the third child has disappeared. Complete invisibility, quietly disappearing in front of Sarutobi Asuma. Bastard, that guy who is good at camouflage, seems to be really nearby. Sarutobi Asuma bit Kiba immediately after seeing the third child invisible. Unleash ninjutsu. Feiyin Kongchuan. With a wave forward, I was looking at an ordinary hand-edged sword, but the attack range suddenly became much wider. A roaring fissure wind swept away several feet away. Inject futon wind style chakra's physical attack. Now it can effectively intercept the invisible third child, leaving him nowhere to hide. If it is hit by futon wind style, then Sarutobi Asuma will definitely find something. Shikatsumyaku dead bone pulse 10-finger piercing. While Sarutobi Asuma is still staring in front of him, just listen to Kimimaro behind him immediately. Unleashed his own Kekkei Genkei. Whoosh whoosh. One after another, the knuckles like bullets shot towards the empty space in front of them. This guy is no ordinary genin. A scolding voice appeared, and the figure of the third child appeared on the open space just now. At some point, he skipped Sarutobi Asuma and headed towards Kimimaro. Obviously, they now want to kill the two Konoha genins first, and then consume Sarutobi Asuma's will to achieve the kill. Now Kimimaro's performance is completely beyond their expectations. Front of this young man, not only should he have decent strength, but he also possesses a strange Kekkei Genkei. The sound of bang 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 appeared, and the youngest child just now was forced to retreat 100 meters away. Kill you. Kimimaro's expression was indifferent, and his eyes were now staring coldly at the three hunting trio who had gathered. I can't lose Gong Yi's face now, they are the best existences to temper themselves. Kimimaro, watch out for them, it seems that these guys want to attack you first. Sarutobi Asuma also came to Kimimaro and cursed inwardly, these shameless bastards. He can feel the cold sweat now, if there is no Kimimaro, he may become a bear commander. Enter. Chapter 376. Dancing on the tip of the knife. The three people who just hunted three people, obviously caught their own mentality. Want to use the attack on Kimimaro and Moonlight Izumi Peak to contain myself. If in the battle, a flaw is revealed because of the two of them, it will be fatal. This is a battle of almost the same level. If there is almost no accident, the three of them will kill themselves with one blow. Sarutobi Asuma now analyzes it very clearly. If Kimimaro had not discovered it in time and shot, he would definitely be distracted. But, just at this moment of distraction, the second child who did not appear, this guy with the secret technique of camouflage will definitely kill himself. This kid actually owns Kekkei Genkai. Second child stared at Kimimaro and said lightly, obviously a little surprised. He never imagined that this innocent-looking boy was the owner of Kekkei Genkai. 3220. Kekkei Genkai. It is when two kinds of chakra nature transformation, and then mixed use will produce a new escape. But it seems simple, this is not the ability of a bad street. Basically, with the existence of Kekkei Genkai, they will all have special abilities, and those who have Kekkei Genkai in the major ninja villages in major countries will be valued very much. Because this Kekkei Genkai has the particularity of being passed down by blood, if it evolves smoothly, it will be the most powerful fighting force of the entire family. Moreover, they are also heavily protected existences, because once their abilities are strong and their bloodlines are strong, they will naturally be killed by outsiders. Really surprising that someone like Kimimaro was brought out to perform tasks at such a young age, instead of continuing to choose protection. Especially when the third child was attacking this white-haired boy just now, the first and second child could see that his Kekkei Genkai ability is very special. It's a pity that he is not on the bounty, otherwise we might make a lot of money this time. Third child licked his lips, stared at Kimimaro, and said with a smile. He didn't feel any pressure. Although his sneak attack just now failed, he didn't feel how terrifying Kimimaro was. Reason why he was forced to retreat was just because he was careless, and he didn't think that a genin kid could do anything at all. One is the 12 guardian ninjas, and the other is a boy with Kekkei Genkai. Three hunters murmured in a deep voice and paused when he said this. The killing intent of the whole person has suddenly erupted. This is such a great value. Now their entire team must be one of the best in Konoha village, so it is more can't let they leave, or we're in real trouble. Brother is right, then let me harvest them myself. The third child pointed the ninja's sword forward, and the whole person slowly began to become transparent. It's the second child. I saw that he has hands sealed with both hands and is realistic, releasing the secret art of camouflage. It is the core ability of the entire hunting trio. It can fake the second child's body, or the others, etc. It seems to be invisible, but it is not. It is an ability that is invisible to people through optical reactions. But it sounds like a normal ability, but with the cooperation of 3 people, it is really terrifying. Close the camouflage, then it will not be very effective to be discovered. As for the boss, he can interfere with spells and various ninja tools, so that the third can complete the kill. Hunting 3 people in 3 groups can make people change their voices in the entire black market of ninja, and naturally has a unique set of skills. They're here, watch out. Sarutobi Asuma saw that the 3 of them had already started the hunt, and he immediately said to Kimimaro behind him. Both hands hand seal. Futon, wind style, burst hurricane technique. Hula immediately broke out with a huge hurricane, swept away towards the eldest and the eldest in front. The incomparably huge astral wind formed the appearance of a tornado and completely blew the surrounding trees. The whole ground has a faint spider web-like crack, obviously its destructive power is very huge. The distance of 100 meters does not seem to be close, but the huge tornado has come to the 2 of them in the blink of an eye. Shikatsumyaku, dead bone pulse, bone blade. After Sarutobi Asuma has released ninjutsu, Kimimaro has also used his Kekkei Genkai ability. He knew in his heart that the first goal of these 3 guys should be himself and Moonlight Izumi Peak. But this time, after seeing their abilities just now, they should be the first to kill them. It's themselves. After studying with Gong Yi for so long, ability is one aspect. Such systematic analysis is also what Gong Yi once and himself said many times. Kimimaro was in danger, and at this moment, one of his hands was holding a white bone spur, and he looked around nervously. Boom boom, the huge explosions in front of him continued, and Sarutobi Asuma was already with the boss in World War II. I saw the scroll in the boss's hand, and when he swung it forward, the ninja tools kept appearing. And on each ninja tool, there is also a detonating charm. Not only that, some sharp blades are also covered with nerve-paralyzing venom. If it is touched, the consequences are very dangerous. The second child is constantly making the boss's blade into disguise, as if invisible. It is this kind of cooperation that has made Sarutobi Asuma too busy to deal with it, and it is too late to take care of Kimimaro. Now he knew that if something happened to him, Kimimaro and the others would not be able to live. So in this case, Sarutobi Asuma has already bit Kiba regardless, first kills the boss and the second, and then quickly goes to support Kimimaro. Sarutobi Asuma glanced at Kimimaro behind him, and he could only pray to himself that he would hold on for a while longer. Thinking about it, he continued to quickly hand seal with both hands, preparing to kill the eldest and second eldest of the three hunting trio in front of him as soon as possible. Come on. The white bone spur in Kimimaro's hand waved to the side, immediately. Stopped over. This kind of killing intent could not be disguised, he could feel it all over his body. Kang, a loud noise, at 1. 6 Kimimaro's ear appeared. Dang, Kimimaro bit Kiba and took a few steps back before stopping. Damn, so powerful. Kimimaro was a little shocked, didn't expect this guy's power to be so powerful. In the end, he is still a guy who has been walking on the blade for a long time, his ability is not. A normal ninja can guess. Shikatsumyaku, Dead Bone Pulse, Dance of the Willow. Suppressing his thoughts, Kimimaro can stop thinking about anything. Now that the third child has been discovered, he has already started to strike first and bombarded the front. Instant, the white bone spur in his hand swung forward, and bone spurs began to slowly grow from his entire body, appearing outside. Back, palms, arms, legs. It makes people look a little frightened now, this is completely beyond what everyone can recognize. Chapter 377 The Life-Saving Spell. Whoosh. After the bone spurs had grown and covered Kimimaro's entire body, he stepped forward to kill. With no extra movement at all, Kimimaro cooperated with body techniques and the bone spurs covering his entire body to burst out a series of attacks. This kid, what is pervert's ability? Third one flicked his sword and smashed the spurred bone spurs into the air. He is now staring at Kimimaro who is rushing towards him, and he has no idea at all. There are still people who have the ability to use bones. The camouflage technique has disappeared, and the third child is not going to use these. Instead, he decided to kill it quickly. Killing a kid, using some additional abilities like this, the third child feels it's a shame. Kang, kang. Next second. Sword and the bone spur reverberated all around, and everyone could see that Kimimaro and the third were fighting together. Okay, it's amazing. Izumi Peak, who was already frightened and didn't know how to react, opened his mouth to stare blankly at 29, Kimimaro. He is so powerful. He forgot to even run, just stood outside the battlefield, watching Kimimaro and the third child bombard each other. Before the moonlight Izumi Peak, he thought Kimimaro was just a genin who was stronger than himself. He was in the same grade as Kimimaro before, but he didn't know that Kimimaro's real strength would be so terrifying. Originally, he thought he could surpass Kimimaro, to gain Gong Yi's appreciation. Now after seeing Kimimaro's strength, Moonlight Izumi Peak is already dumbfounded here. His mind was blank, and his entire body was completely rigid and uncontrollable. Born into a pampered family, he had seen such a scene, and now he almost cried out in fright. Little devil, go to hell. Secret killing swordsmanship. Zan Laosin looked ferocious, and a blue chakra energy suddenly appeared on the blade of the ninja blade in his hand. At this moment, his whole person's strength seemed to change, and his strength was even more terrifying. Clang kong kong. The sparks kept sputtering, and the third child was actually a little frightened. He couldn't cut off the bones of the young man in front of him. Damn it. Kimimaro saw the strength of the third child gradually rising, and his whole body exploded backwards. There are still some gaps, Kimimaro has to admit, such a guy is very capable. This weird swordsmanship just now. He did not dare to resist rashly, for fear of being caught. Haha, right in the middle of my arms. And at this moment, seeing Kimimaro, who is now his own, the third child sneered. As if everything just now was just to get Kimimaro's attention here. Mystery detonating bug. Mystical attacking blade. A burst of shouts suddenly sounded. Kimimaro's face was extremely pale. Because the voice was behind him. When Kimimaro's heart sank, and he turned his head and looked over. I saw that the eldest and the second of the three hunters suddenly appeared behind him without knowing what was going on. At this moment under his feet, there were even several bugs that looked like psychic beasts, and there were also several detonating talismans hanging on them. No way to avoid it. In front of him is the boss of the three hunters, and the scroll in his hand has been swung towards him. On the side, the second child is already stuck there, and the third child is pressing on him step by step. Everything happened in a flash of lightning. Just when Kimimaro reacted, the three people who were hunting three people on the hind legs were blocked in front of his eyes. Not to mention the current Kimimaro, even anyone can't react at all. Damn, when did they leave? Sarutobi Asuma, who had just released ninjutsu and fought fiercely with the two, cursed. It is clear that the three of them are the boss and the second of the three hunting groups in front of him. He is about to use ninjutsu to fight again, but... Bang! Bang! Sarutobi Asuma's voice just fell, and his thoughts came to him because he appeared in front of him. Two puffs of white smoke. The eldest and second eldest here just now have completely disappeared. It's a clone technique. Sarutobi Asuma's face was gloomy, as if water could drip, and he didn't know where he was now. The reason why they kept releasing all kinds of ninja tools just now was overwhelmingly attacking them. In fact, they didn't want to kill themselves at all, but they wanted to take advantage of their own defense, through the camouflage of the secret technique of hunting the three of them, and then move to Kimimaro's side. The three of them started from the beginning. The ultimate goal is not me at all, but the person behind me. Kimimaro. These cunning guys. It's over. Sarutobi Asuma's heart is completely ashes, watching the hunting three-man party encirclement and suppression of Kimimaro. He is no longer able to revolving heaven. All of this happened too fast, and there is no chance for Sarutobi Asuma to come to support. These bastards are Kekkei Genkei who are afraid of Kimimaro, so they want to get rid of him quickly, and then deal with me at ease. As for Moonlight Izumi Peak, they don't seem to care about it at all. Sarutobi Asuma's mind already understood the conspiracy of hunting the three of them. Tisk tisk. Kekkei Genkei's abilities are good, but unfortunately you will die today. Second child sneered, and 320 was already waving the same ninja knife at him in his hand. It's not a loss for you to die under the swords of the three people we hunted. The third child in the rear also had a sly smile on his face, and he had already killed him as well. Quote. And at this moment, the three bosses of the three hunting groups standing in front of Kimimaro, he didn't speak anymore, just vented his killing intent all over the place. Damn. Seeing that the three of them had completely killed him, Kimimaro now knew that he couldn't leave because of the attack of the three parties. Now there are psychic insects about to detonate under his feet. As for the only gap on the side, Kimimaro is even more concerned. Dare to go. No matter how stupid they are, they already know that when they camouflaged and lurked here before, a trap may have been set there. Seeing such an unstoppable situation, Kimimaro bit Kiba and cursed at the moment. This is the first time I perform a mission. You are going to use the life-saving scroll that Mr. Gongyi gave me. Time seems to be slow, but in fact it is only a moment. He couldn't think about it any longer, and immediately took out a scroll, which was the gift Gongyi once gave him to graduate Genin. The reel was pulled, Kimimaro quickly hand-sealed, and then pressed the reel with one hand. Bang! With a bang, white smoke burst out. Chapter 378. Gongyi Incarnation. As Kimimaro used the scroll, everyone was suddenly taken aback. No one would have thought that this young man in front of him actually had something to save his life. What's the situation? Three hunters and Sarutobi Asuma all looked over in astonishment. No one knows what will be in this scroll of Kimimaro next. At the same time, as white smoke burst from the scroll, a golden light burst out. Immediately, no wait, someone showed confusion, and they began to gradually converge, slowly forming a human shape. Eventually he turned into a man with long black hair tied behind him. Seeing this man, the three of them completely forgot to attack, and Sarutobi Asuma and Moonlight Izumi Peak were equally stunned. The whole, lively, scene just now was rarely quiet, and only the sound of rain was left. I saw him standing tall and straight with his hands on his back, and slowly walked out in the golden light. On top of a handsome face, the pair of dark and deep eyes seemed to contain infinite stars, which made people feel incomparable awe. The rain was still there. It was falling, but it didn't stain him at all. Like the raindrops falling from the sky, there is an invisible barrier between him and him, which cannot be stained on him at all. Wu, Konoha, dark blue demon, Gong Yi. Three of the hunters saw the man, they all spoke in unison. They even forgot to attack Kimimaro again, and what they and others were going to do next. We're all terrified. The three of them trembled suddenly, and when they saw Gong Yi appearing inexplicably, their minds went blank. It's really the man, who can suppress the ninja world and kill the tailed beast. The second child's previous complacent appearance was completely gone, and the whole person had already started to retreat, feeling a little overwhelmed. They didn't expect that it was just a matter of killing people, but they actually attracted such a terrifying guy. Could this boy have something to do with the dark blue demon? Quote. Third child was stunned, the ninja sword in his hand was gradually becoming unstable, and he didn't know what to do next. When the three of them saw Gong Yi appear, they already wanted to turn around and run away, not caring at all. However, Gong Yi, who walked out of the scroll, was expressionless, and looked at the three bosses of the three hunting groups in front of him with an indifferent expression. Next second, the hands on his back were slowly raised and pointed towards him. Chop. It's almost. In an instant, a golden light burst out in one mouthful. They quickly converged, forming a golden long sword in just half a second, and then moved towards the hunting in an instant. The boss of the three people slashed away. A coercion soaring to the sky swept across the four directions. Such a force has surpassed everything. Even the environment that is still raining all around is here, and it seems to have stopped completely. Between heaven and earth, it seems that only this golden light is left. Don't. He saw Gong Yi pointing at him, the boss of the three. Manhunter turned around and left. He had time to move, the whole person was already slashed by the golden sword. In an instant, the golden long sword immediately disappeared, and Gong Yi's whole body slowly turned into a golden light and disappeared in place. Silence. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds 3. I saw that at this time, the three bosses of the three hunting people who were parked there, when the breeze blew, they were slowly dying and became 2 sections 2, the dead can no longer die. Second kill. The three bosses of the three hunters whose reputation shook the entire black market of the ninja world, he was just pointed at by Gong Yi, and then he was killed instantly. To breathe, he didn't even have time to leave or fight back, and then the whole person was already cold. The two remaining children, the second and the third, didn't even have the mood to cry, and their faces were only pale as paper. They thought of countless possibilities of being killed, but they never thought that one day, they would be killed so easily. If Gong Yi hadn't disappeared just now, in the blink of an eye, he and others might have turned into corpses. Actually killed him so easily. Sarutobi Asuma saw this. His scalp was numb, and his whole body was even colder from his feet to his head. He was a ninja at the same time as Gong Yi, and grew up at the same time. Now, Sarutobi Asuma can no longer look at Gong Yi with a look of reliance. The previous suppression of the 6 tails has reached today, and Sarutobi Asuma has been deeply shocked. As for Moonlight Izumi Peak, he even sat on the ground, ignoring the rain on the ground. Master Gongyi. Master Gongyi is too scary. But just after this shocking thing happened, everyone was deeply stunned, but Kimimaro was biting Kiba and gnashing his teeth. Damn bastard. Cursed in a low voice, what had just happened? This was just shame for him. The first time he performed a mission, he actually used the life-saving scroll that Mr. Gongyi gave him. He regarded this scroll as a treasure. He thought he would never use it in his life, but now he never thought that it would be such a waste. Thinking of this, Kimimaro's eyes were full of killing intent, and he looked at the three remaining hunting trio. Looks like his scroll is a one-time use. Here, Kimimaro's killing intent seemed to be felt, and the second child who hunted the three of them came back to his senses in shock. Gongyi just now is not the ontology, he is completely unaware. It should be a one-time attack ninjutsu that comes with the scroll. Thinking of this, the second child has already reacted, and the whole person has the same killing intent. You actually killed my elder brother, and now there is no Konoha's dark blue demon to take a shot. I will kill you. Hunting the second child of a threesome, his hatred for Kimimaro is endless. With the death of the boss, their next life will definitely not be easy. Gongyi is scary, right? However, they don't believe that such a scroll, he can still have it. Furthermore, if Kimimaro still owns it, he and others will definitely die. But, if he really is gone, then he and others can also take revenge on the spot. No matter what. How do you think? Now you have to close your eyes to fight them. Konoha Village, Ninja Hospital. Office. N. As soon as Kimimaro used the scroll, Gongyi raised his head as if he was feeling it. Closing the documents in his hand, his eyes were deep and flickering strangely. Kimimaro used the scroll. Chapter 379. My disciple. Gongyi stood up and walked to a large window. Looking outside, there are ninjas and villagers coming and going. Did Kimimaro happen to him? He doesn't feel wrong. As for the scroll, Gongyi naturally did something before. It has its own weak power of divine consciousness. As long as this scroll is used, the power of divine consciousness will disappear. In the same way, as it disappears, I will also clearly feel it on my own side. As for this scroll, it was my own experimental product. Use the power of his clone and Jindun to fuse to form a ban, which is sealed on the scroll. Finally, through a specific hand seal, it can be activated to release its own avatar and complete the golden escape. When it was successfully researched by himself, Gongyi specially gave it to Kimimaro, so that he could use it to escape for his life when he encountered danger in later missions. But now Gongyi never imagined that Kimimaro actually used it in this first mission and was still in the team, with a good Jonin like Sarutobi Asuma. Meet a powerful enemy by 320 inches. Looking at the location where the power of divine consciousness disappeared, it was not very far from him. Gongyi could still feel, as Kimimaro in the land of rain. Thinking of this, Gongyi's figure disappeared immediately. When he reappeared, he was already outside the Konoha village. Over time, the entire area of Konoha village was set up with Hiraishin's spell. And through his own continuous improvement, this Hiraishin technique has completely surpassed the level used by the second-generation Hokage Senju Tobarama and Namikaze Minato. Now it is more powerful and convenient, and you only need a thought to reach the location of the spell. Continue to dodge, wait until Gongyi reappears, and you can already see the location of the rain country from afar. Boom, boom, boom. Huge explosions have been heard continuously. On the border of the rain country has been destroyed and turned into ruins. Sarutobi Asuma and Kimimaro, who were still here just now, have disappeared. Third of the three has been forced to the country of the bear by the frantic hunting of the second and third of the three. Now the eyes of the two of them are open to Yuhi, and their nerves have been completely stimulated by Kimimaro's last move. Especially after seeing this skill and having confirmed that Kimimaro did not have this horror scroll, the two of them attacked even more crazy. There are some deadly killing moves frequently, and even flying Asuma is difficult to deal with. Before hunting three people still wanted to protect themselves, so they started with some seriousness. But now it's different. After seeing the big brother who is like a brother being killed, they have started to go crazy. Damn it, now I want you to lose your life. Second and third are biting on Kiba, holding the ninja's sword in his hand tightly. Wave towards Sarutobi Asuma and Kimimaro. The clanging voices kept appearing, and the current Sarutobi Asuma and Kimimaro did not feel the pressure decrease because one of them died. On the contrary, the two people who have been stimulated now are no longer playing any conspiracy with them at all, and they are all full of chakra ultimate moves. HMPH. It's you who are going to die. Kimimaro also has a nameless fire. Because of them, he actually used the scroll that Gong Yi gave him, which made him brooding. Blink of an eye, just when the third child lost his mind in anger, Kimimaro seized the opportunity, and immediately the white bone spur in his hand swung to his neck when he turned to the side. Seeing that the third child could no longer hide, Kimimaro revealed he sneered and said in a low voice, "Death." Kimimaro bit Kiba and didn't stop, but swung it with even more strength, showing no mercy at all. Bang! With a wave down, what awaits Kimimaro is not the blood-splattered scene of the third child being killed, but the white smoke that appears in an instant. Third child disappeared. How is it possible? Seeing the scene in front of him, Kimimaro had a sneer on his face immediately. Stiffened, he scolded himself for being careless. It's a clone technique. I was deceived by him. Hee, you guessed right. At this time, Kimimaro's voice just fell, and the third child has shown his figure in a sneer behind him. You can die now. A monstrous killing intent suddenly erupted. He ignored Sarutobi Asuma who was fighting with his second child, but completely locked Kimimaro, ready to give him a fatal blow. It's over. Kimimaro's heart sank, and even he didn't have time to look back, and the thought instantly appeared in his heart. This is because in the battle just now, he did not have the advantage at all. Unexpectedly, after gradually becoming the upper hand, he only killed one of his clones. Now he can't turn around at all, or in other words, he is dodging his attack. Dead. Kimimaro's face is pale, but the third child who hunts the three of them is smiling fiercely, as if his revenge has been avenged. Thinking of this, the third child stabbed Kimimaro's heart with the long knife in his hands. But in the next second, only after hearing a bang, the third child stood there in a daze, and the whole person was stunned. And Kimimaro was equally startled with an unwilling face, because there was no problem with himself, and everything was intact. Back subconsciously, Kimimaro also looked in disbelief. I didn't expect you to encounter so many things on your first mission. An indifferent voice came out, and the person standing behind him was actually his teacher. Gong Yi. He had one hand behind his back and the other hand up in front of him. I saw the ninja sword of the third child just now. The sharp blade wrapped in chakra was pinched by Gong Yi with 2 fingers. It was completely light and cloudless, as if there was no need to blow dust. It blocked the fatal blow of the third child just now. At this moment, Gong Yi slowly turned his head. But you have forgotten that I told you the most deadly thing. That is, don't easily think that you killed an enemy stronger than you. Teacher Gong Yi. Kimimaro's face can't be said whether it's good or bad. It's extremely complicated. You are actually his teacher. The third child's whole body is a little stiff, and the whole person vaguely feels that he can't stand up. The long knife he wanted to swing in his hand was now clamped by the stubborn Gong Yi, like an incomparably strong iron pincer, making him unable to attack at all. This is the real Gong Yi. This is the real Konoha. Deep Blue Devil. Philo reminds you. 3 things to read, collect, push and watch the latest chapters. Baidu search 99 playmates find 99 novels. Chapter 380. A few experiments. The current situation. The current situation. The third child of hunting 3 people, even if he is stupid, he clearly understands in his heart. Standing in front of me is the real Gong Yi. This is definitely not the existence sealed in the scroll. The conversation between Gongyi and Kimimaro just now, he had completely felt the fear. Because the existence he wanted to kill was actually this man's disciple. He retreated violently. Now the third child is completely afraid to go out and fight back. He knows unless he is really tired of living. It was just left on the scroll with a single blow. He killed his big brother directly. Now that this real body has come in person, the third child can't imagine how terrifying this man's strength will be. Master Gongyi. Still, Sarutobi Asuma, who is entangled with his dick, has stopped. Izumi Peak, who stayed where he was and didn't know what to do, was vaguely excited. Master Gongyi, he's really here. Now that the two of them saw that Gongyi had appeared, all their anxious hearts began to calm down. He had disappeared from the second child who had been frantically suppressing him before, and just after he saw Gongyi appear, he said nothing. Abandoning the fight with Sarutobi Asuma, he used his own secret technique to sneak away. Asuma, it seems that you lost a lot this time. Gongyi twitched the corners of his mouth and smiled, put the ninja sword in his hand on the ground, and looked over quietly. There was naturally a hint of schadenfreude in his tone. Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to use him to win over Kimimaro. Gongyi naturally knew that. The mission chosen this time seems to be to temper them, but the more important thing is to use such a long distance to let Sarutobi Asuma come into contact with Kimimaro. But unfortunately, this time, they shot themselves in the foot. Past Kimimaro and others that Sarutobi Asuma brought before, now there are only two left. Apparently, one should have died just before. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with it, but in such a relatively peaceful environment, it's not. In the previous war years, it is very uncomfortable for Sarutobi Asuma and Sarutobi Hiruzen to perform an ordinary task now. But Gongyi doesn't care, he cares more about Kimimaro. I was fortunately cultivated by myself, and this has not really emerged yet and died here. To say that Gongyi doesn't feel distressed, this is simply impossible. Especially Orochimaru's Konoha crash plan. It's coming. Gongyi still needs manpower. Because of the current situation after all, after Sarutobi Hiruzen's death, he may not let anyone get involved in the Hokage position. Had a little trouble. Hearing Gongyi finish speaking, Sarutobi Asuma also shrugged and said helplessly. He naturally knew now that it was all self-inflicted, and he should not have coveted Kimimaro, but chose this escort mission. Now he is seeing Gongyi's smile, but he has nothing to say. Contrary, now Gongyi actually appeared, which made Sarutobi Asuma feel inexplicable peace of mind. Otherwise, he wouldn't know it today, and he would have been killed by the crazy hunting trio. Teacher Gongyi, I will take your scroll. Okay, let's go back and talk. Gongyi stopped Kimimaro from speaking again. At this time, a violent chakra power suddenly erupted. I saw that Gongyi has hand seal with both hands at this moment. Futon, wind style, blade of wind spirit. After he finished speaking, Gongyi raised his hand and saw a small, rapidly spinning wind blade slowly gathered in his palm. Immediately afterwards, Gongyi moved forward towards the position where the third child escaped, and threw it lightly. Hula! A fierce whistling sound appeared, and I saw that the small wind blade suddenly soared, and immediately moved towards it. A loud bang appeared, and wherever it went, everything it touched was completely shattered. What a strong futon wind style ninjutsu! Does Gongyi also have a rare wind attribute chakra? Sarutobi Asuma saw Gongyi use futon wind style ninjutsu, and the whole person was a little surprised. I didn't give him the futon wind style ninjutsu scroll for a long time before, but in a blink of an eye, I can use such a powerful futon wind style ninjutsu. Sarutobi Asuma was amazed when he saw the wind blade whizzing away, and it showed great destructive power. His own futon wind style ninjutsu skills are very high, but he found himself in front of Gongyi. Before, he has no advantage at all. Of course, he doesn't know now. Gongyi just takes it like this again. The little guy is just practicing his hands. Futon wind style ninjutsu has been studied for a long time, and it is still one of the few experiments today. Ah! An unwilling scream appeared, and I saw the three young men of the hunt who wanted to escape just now. He was completely crushed by the wind blade. To death. He was completely unable to imagine that he had already, after escaping such a long distance, he still could not escape Gong Yi's control. And he felt that it was just an ordinary futon wind style ninjutsu, and he didn't even think that he didn't even have the room to counterattack. Just one hit kill again. Everyone seemed to be numb, and felt that Gong Yi was just a normal operation. Oh yes, there is one left. Seeing that the third child had been killed, Gong Yi turned his eyes to the other side as if he didn't see them at all. There was no one there, but Gong Yi released his ninjutsu towards the front. Xuanwang big hand. The whole earth began to tremble, and in the blink of an eye, everyone only felt that the top of their heads was slowly turning pitch black. Looking up, a big black-yellow hand that covered the sky and the sun was slapped fiercely in front of it, and it was extremely imposing. A daunting aura was already vented at this moment. Boom! A huge sound spread in an instant, and the whole land in front was shattered in an instant. Immediately afterwards, cracks began to spread outward with it as the center, and countless rubble and smoke were also sputtered around. The second of the three of the hunting trio who had just left quietly, he has already appeared. With an unbelievable look on his face, he struggled under the palm of his hand. How is it possible? My secret art of disguises actually will be seen through. Hee hee. Gong Yi sneered when he saw the surprised appearance of the three dicks. After owning the third seed of divine consciousness, the disguise he thought was flawless was actually completely unable to escape Gong Yi's perception. Gong Yi it is impossible to see him with the naked eye, but with a simple diffusion of perception, he can be easily caught. Immediately, at this time, Gong Yi naturally won't talk nonsense with him anymore. Enter.